Okay, the live stream should be starting up soon. Please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Kick is going. Twitter is going. Need to update the YouTube thumbnail. Okay, YouTube thumbnail's up to date. Looks like Twitch is going. USB Rumble's going. Let's check them out on the computer. Yep. Turn on this light. Okay, I think everything is good to go, so let's go to get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the bottom left side as Cyan Roost, we have Ullten Owns. Spawn on the top right side as the Holy Roman Empire, we have Valdemar 1902. Let's see now, Roost versus Holy Roman Empire. Holy Roman Empire, of course, has a lot of powerful man-at-arms, while the Roost, of course, have some early knights in the feudal age. Likely the Roost players probably go for early knights into some archers, Holy Roman Empire. Let's see, I forget, is the blunt weapons, is that a Castle Age or Feudal Age technology? I think that's Castle Age technology. So, likely the Holy Roman Empire will likely go for Horseman, Spearman, Archer in Feudal Age, while the Roost player will go for probably Knight and Archers. You got the gold deposit being cleaned on up. He does. There's no little full wood deposit near the town center like he usually does. Oh, there's this one here. His is actually way over here. We'll likely probably see the Aachen Chapel probably deployed maybe pretty far back towards the forest line to get a lot of wood collection. We got the forest poppers there. Oh yeah, and that was my first replay today. And let's go ahead and switch out here and take a look at the Roost player to see look at the trade bounties. He's at 120, which is very good. Yellow's trying to find some more of the forest puppers and exotic doggos. And now do have the Kremlin going on up. Kremlin's pretty standard. Finds another doggo there. He's now up to 170, so killing off the boar will not give him enough for tier 2. He's going to need to find a little bit more. Yellow just now found the steer deposit. He's not found this one. His scout was way over there. Does find this deer deposit. And Cyan may pick off one. I saw a plus 10 there. Cyan's getting the kills there and does get at least 3 of those deer. Now he's at the 200 trade bounty, so getting a single boar will put him tier 2 trade bounty. He will need to get the high trade house with tier 3. Got this small group of deer here. Yellow's so far largely unsuccessful finding up these forest puppers. These have been claimed as well. Now both players have reached the feudal age. Does hold the Aachen Chapel. Will affect the gold deposit. Will affect the small wood deposit. And the farms they eventually will get out will be a little bit too far forward. They may want an eye for our town center near this gold deposit, help keep the area secure. Or could try one down here first as well. Does find a dog there, and now he's at 250 without need of killing off a boar for tier 2. It's unlikely he's going to get tier 3 unless he gets a high trade house. We have some militia not being put on the field. He's afraid of any Roost early knights. Some early knights. Yell does spot the stone deposit being claimed up there, so he knows it's going to be relatively safe time to expand himself or eye for some aggression for himself. So now the extra towns are going up for Yellow. Let's switch out of caster mode now in order to engage. Spearman pushed way forward, trying to find a hit down the scout. Was unsuccessful. Now I got this gold deposit not being cleaned up by yellow. Very nice. Science for pulling out the towns that are next to these forest puppers. That is the big deposit. Small deposit over there, and there's also a lot of berries. So putting out a hunting cabin here could be very handy. Right now, yellow has to put out a large number of spearmen there. It does take out one yellow's scouts as well. Science Scout has plenty of health. Now I do have the hunting cabin deployed on field, as was a wooden fortress. Oh, that is actually the boar right there. I didn't see it because I didn't see the icon down here. But the boar is now being cleaned up by Sign by 8 villagers. He likely has, yeah, he does have survival techniques. Going for wheelbarrow now. Signs a scout over here as well. Yellow's boar is right here, so on the same side of the map. Yellow will probably not likely go for it. And now he's going for some pierce armor, yellow is. Let's get some arrows there on the yellow scout, getting it severely wounded. Science Scout is now in pursuit. We also Science Scout is in pursuit of by these bunch of spearmen. That's run away by a bunch of angry guys with pointy sticks. We have a wooden fortress here. He has a little bit more villagers there to defend inside that, not wooden fortress, outpost. And now I do got the Bullgrove Palace being put on field. It looks like yellow's eyeing for Fast Castle. Sign's pretty close getting his own castle age up. Bullgrove Palace is the barracks landmark, so that basically will suffice in all of his barracks, along with existing barracks. That's basically 5 barracks. Got marching drills on the build queue as well. He will get on the one that's a little bit slower to build, but of course it is available at this moment. Yellow's scout is now receiving some hits there from Blue Cyan's scouts. You know how the high trade-out's going up? High trade-outs is going right there. Why? It's probably the best spot for it. This forest deposit got wood deposit was spawned pretty far away from the nearby forest, so can't hit both. Castle is now researched by the Holy Roman Empire. He's going for marching drills, going for the man-at-arms research. He's going to probably go for mass men-at-arms. Sign probably should counter with probably mangonels. Could potentially get out some horse archers. They do hit pretty hard. Crossbows. That's probably generally a better idea. Knows against the Holy Roman Empire, so going for some sort of front line, just probably a spearman front line with some crossbows in the back, and maybe a mangonel too would be quite good. Yellow's now streaming in these man-at-arms. Since it's the Bullgrove Palace, they can produce them very quickly. You can see a nice line of them. He does have +1 pierce armor as well, so these man-at-arms have 5 pierce armor. They will withstand a lot of arrow fire from town center. His archer range is trying to be built there. He's trying to get out some crossbows now. We do have the Kremlin now engaging. Gets some arrows there. It is a wooden fortress with all the upgrades, barring the spring golden placement. So the arrows will do bonus the extra damage. We've got some militia being plotted there. One villager does go down. These are these villagers inside this town center. So it's not enough room for all of them. Militia charging forward. They do have 12 attack at the moment. Militia advancing forward. Since they have 12 attack, they do decently well with the higher armor of the man-at-arms. It does take out those man-at-arms. These spearmen advance forward. They will get overwhelmed by all the arrow fire. These man-at-arms are slowly being picked on off. Like I said beforehand, he only has 6 damage, which means only 1 damage per arrow against these man-at-arms. And Sign has held. The militia were very useful for this. Right now, more than the majority of his force is militia, so you only get some reinforcements, even sending the scouts on in. Let's get some crossbows now from the field. It will take a bit of time getting enough for defense. Let's get some stutter steps there. Armory being put out as well. He can get Boris for troops going for pierce arm for pierce damage. Kremlin could be upgraded to spring golden placement. Does not have enough stone for it. Does get the Kremlin firing away. The arrows from the Kremlin is 8 damage each. Oh, these villagers need to get away from this forest pupper. Yellow does have more villagers in mode. Though the village count is quite similar, I think Sign failed to build villagers for a time frame. They both have 2 town centers, so scientists may have failed to build villagers. Crossbows trying to fall him back. These men-at-arms are overrunning him. Crossbows do have a long reload time. Takes out some of these men-at-arms now. Throw into the Kremlin. Kremlin's out of charge there. The militia are engaging. He may just want to get out some spearmen just to absorb some shots, but it doesn't look to get out of barracks. So even just some knights, early knights, would be useful to help hold the line. Because if they cross with the stand of fire, they get a bit more damage going. They could be thrown inside the town center. Maybe if it's safer until he gets them and pop them on the far side of it. More crossbows being put on the field. Militia still holding the line. These men-at-arms are slowly being whittled down. Does take out 7 of the opponent's villagers, but a large number of these men-at-arms are very wounded. They will disintegrate very soon. Down just to a couple now. Reinforcing ones are being intercepted. Yellow's advance has halted. He's going for survival techniques and wheelbarrow. It's probably not a good idea to go for survival techniques right now. There's hardly any, I guess it's getting for boar. There's a relic inside this placement as well. Bruce is not going for hack damage, would be very useful. Do now have a marker going up. Bruce player has a lot of gold. Not a lot of food at the moment. He's collecting these berries. These forest puppers could be claimed. Actually, it's still a living one as well. Due to the increased collection rate of these villagers, they will, of course, get a 10% increased collection rate, which will make the berries a bit more tolerable in collection. But he does have plenty of wood as well, so he can get out some farms. Not really a good place for any farms. Both sides have 8 military force. Science just pulling out more crossbows. He still has significantly less villagers than opponent. Now got some farms being pulled out of the Aachen Chapel, which will have an absurd collection rate. Yellow has claimed 3 relics and 2 more in his hands, so he's going to get all 5 relics. The barracks are being pulled on the field. It's probably a good idea to just go for some spearmen rather than man-at-arms, because his opponent will get 2-handed weapons and blunt weapons. If you just need something to hold the front line, spearmen and man-at-arms would do the same work. Granted, men-at-arms will do more damage in return, but health-wise and receiving hits, they will be about the same rate. Yellow's now eyeing for some palisade walls there, very nice. And Sign to pull out some more walls there. Does manage to go up all these walls there, throwing some torches there, has 10 health, does get the torches up, and he will get the palisade walls up. Now we do have some Landsknechts being pulled on the field. They will do a significant amount of damage. They have really high damage of 18 at the moment. Regular archers will be better against Landsknechts. They're light melee, so regular archers will do bonus damage. Got the wooden fortress here, and does have the lumber camp nearby. Does throw these villagers inside the wooden fortress there. Now the Landsknechts going to get some slices. Crossbows will get some good damage on in. They may not be super effective versus archers, but they can still pack a punch. Not archers, spearmen. We got a mess of walls going on up, trying to prevent each other from building walls. And Sign's going to build even larger diagonal walls.
Начинаю строить и сейчас. Сделаю. Я построю сие.
More walls are going up. He will go ahead and get the full wall off of there. Sign has not built any walls over here at the moment. And Yellow does have 4 Landsknechts, 3 men-at-arms, 9 spearmen, and 4 horsemen in his army. A relatively big mix, but only a handful of them are going to be hard countered by those crossbows. Now getting some spearmen mixed on in, very good. No 2-handed weapons nor blunt weapons being researched by Yellow at the moment. These villagers will be overran. He is behind the villagers, so losing these villagers is very important. Stein does pull back this force now, seeing that army bearing down on him. Trying to cut these ferries as well. You guys have some spearmen here. Does get some damage there. Landcheck's charging forward. They will get some great AoE damage. Does get inside the town center. Some of these more villagers may get hit. Does get a kill there. He does not have textiles, so they only have 50 health. Spearman trying to hit these villagers. Does connect with his force puffer as well. And Spearman will ward them away. He may want to take time to set up a small force there so he can rebuild those walls. Sinacron has a larger force in the field, as well as a higher quality force. These palisade walls have been completed. Now going for the palisade gate as well. These villagers will need to be retasked to these closer trees. He does get a bit of spear brace there. We'll get some bonus damage on these horsemen. Stein's now pushing forward. He does have a sizable force here. No regular archers. I think he should mix in some regular archers at the moment. Do not have the inspired warriors there. It's allowing him to inspire military units. He'll just collecting up wood. He still needs to get this hunting cabin up. It will provide him a small amount of gold income with these nearby trees as well. By trade house. The deer are a little bit everywhere, but you can go ahead and get them collected on up. And there's no walls here for yellow, so this is a bit of an entry point. Monastery getting the inspired warrior research. And he has a couple prelates in this mix as well. Stein has a smaller force now and a lower quality at the moment. A handful of siege weapons like Mangonels wouldn't be half bad. Now got the wooden fortress going up, as well as a mining camp. Down south we do have... Ooh, he does find a little exotic doggo. He's also eyeing for a market there. He's eyeing for a bit of trade. Any handful of traders could make your gold last a little bit longer. Just go for a small amount this moment in time. There's still plenty of gold on the map to collect. And the Roos don't really get any benefits from trade. So he should keep that number to a minimum. Maybe 5 to 10. That's about it. He does have plenty of gold at the moment. Just trying to get more food and wood. They're trying to go for this wooden fortress there. Science. Crossbows don't get a good quality there, but he's fighting against a large amount of non-heavies. These crossbows will not get any bonus damage. Wooden Fortress has been interrupted. Villagers are in this region here as well, getting some crossbow fire on these forces. He misread his opponent's army. Horsemen are now breaking on in. We've got a wave of militia charging forward to hold the line. They do also bonus damage versus these horsemen. He does get some good damage on those horsemen as well. Crossbows gain some good damage onto these spearmen. Have to be careful with those Landsknechts. Landsknechts will rip apart these militia. I think they are ripping apart this militia. Got a couple knights there. Now the knights are not a good option by yellow because his opponent's entire army counters them. Both the spearmen and those crossbows. Now it's off a trading way. Could get inside the wooden fortress there. It would probably provide a bit better damage output than these crossbows, as well as a bit of safety. Yellow's force is being cleaned on up. Yellow's now eyeing for a forward castle. Stein will hold right there, but this castle's going up or keeps going up on the front line in the middle of his base. Stein does not have any siege weapons, whether it be Springald, Mangonel, nor battering ram, and desperately does need, well, not necessarily Springald, but neither needs Mangonel or the battering rams. Mangonels will still be useful for the keep. They do bonus damage and outrange the arrows, but and the battering force would be hard to counter for it. Magano would generally be better to help hit these other forces. He may want to go for siege engineers. I don't know if he has not gotten siege engineers just yet, nor does he has gotten military academies. Some of these spearmen are going on down. Magano now pulling a few, but in a bad location, he'll get quickly overran by these forces, including by a scalp, which does bonus damage versus siege. Zion's force here will get cleaned on up. More militia have been spawned on out. Even to point out some man-at-arms. They're just getting ripped apart by these forces. Does have a pair of banner rams deployed on the field. They're quickly being torched by the yellow villagers that built these caves. Yep, I don't think Sion's going to be in the game for much longer. Villagers getting some torch damage there, but we're seeing some talented arrows. The backline farm's not getting hit as well. As is starting to build some traders, which will help him improve his villager count, or replenish his villager count. Now I've got some more banners here, but a lot of horsemen as well as villager forces coming on in. More banner rams being pulled on the field. Crossbows just getting overran. Keep now seeing some fire. Keep will see some more hits there. Yellow's applying some battery rams as well, and now pulling out 4 town center to get the mercenary repairs on this keep. He should have enough force to hold back these battery rams. Science still just going, trying to get more crossbows, more man-at-arms, more spearmen. Now his opponent pulling out more man-at-arms. It will be a bit more effective, but these horsemen still pose a massive problem for him. Does get some cavalry archers out as well. Calling him back. Got these battery rams pushing forward. Mace this keep ablaze. Town center has not been fully built, has been more or less stopped. These horses need to start hitting those battery rams. Science crossbow still running around. And arms gain some hits there. Does get inside the wooden fortress, but of course it does not have upgrades onto it. More man-at-arms, more knights pushing forward. Battle rams will knock down that keep. Now they're going to be trying to build that town center. But overall, Science have not been able to build enough of a defense force. And that is the end of the replay. This is Android saying thank you for watching. On to the next replay. Big note there of what makes some good counters, or the lack of pulling out counters can cause some issues. Let's see, that was one of the pit replays. Was that this one? Nope. That was that one. We can do this one here. And I remember as well, somebody mentioned beforehand if I can move the chat window. In which I'm going to move the chat window because we've put in the caster mode here. They do want to see the score. So if I were to put it right here, I think that would be a good spot. They'll also not cover the research as much. Only person will get that much research queued at once is probably Delhi Sultanate. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the bottom left side as the Magenta Chinese by Valdemar 1902. Spawn on the top right side as the Blue Mullions by 3D Cat. There as well, disable the OBS preview to save up some resources. See, Chinese versus Mullions both have access to a lot of various light units. The biggest one to note is probably the Zinshnu for Chinese, though the Mullions, of course, can pull out some javelin throwers. Javelin throwers have been pretty common for most games I've seen recently, probably because they have high base damage, though their rate of fire is a bit slow, but their high base damage makes it so even if they pull it out as a wrong unit at a time, they can still do decently well. Chinese don't get anything special other than the Imperial Official to get some supervision and tax collection to improve all the resource collection. While Blue, the Mullions, of course, does have access to the resources through the mining pit. Right now at 87 gold per minute. That, of course, allow him to get a decent amount of gold income. He's already at the 200 minimum to go to the next age. Now do you have the Monza Quarry being employed on field. Sheep interrupted for a brief moment, and the Monza Quarry will be going on up. Over here, got the Imperial Academy, which will allow them to deploy out the more Imperial officials without tying up this queue here to maintain villager queues, as well as have some unique research to double the capacity of the gold capacity of the Imperial official, so you can deposit tax income less often. The Mullion has also a lot of assets you can use to be aggressive with. You can use Warrior Scouts, a powerful, fast, high health regen unit. We do have a stable here, maybe going for Warrior Scouts. He does also have access to Sofas, a early heavy cav, which does have only 2/2 armor. There's the Veteran Warrior Scout research there. This will greatly improve the damage to the Warrior Scout to 7 damage per slice, as well as give it an absurd health regen, which will give like 2 health regen even while in combat. Get some good hits there onto the villager. He does go ahead and take time to bop that sheep. It needs to get that villager out of there. He's getting some unnecessary hits. The Chinese player has not. He's going for the Vatican of the Sun. He's going to be hyper defensive. They're just going to stay in a fight, get some shanks there on the Warrior Scout. The Warrior Scout has a plenty of health regen. It's almost immediately. He's already topped off in health. Seeing he has trying to pull out the Vatican of the Sun right there, I think he's eyeing for this stone deposit. And getting that quickly built there. He needs to get this wounded villager over here. He's about ready to lose that wounded villager. Does not take out the villager there. Does get a bit of body block. And Sung Dynasty there. And does get some arrow hits there and taking out the Warrior Scout. This Warrior Scout now is seeing lots of arrow fire. Something important to note about the Warrior Scout as well. It has no inherent pierce armor like a horseman, and nor does it get any bonus damage versus range. It will get bonus damage versus range in the Veteran research in Castle Age, but not in Feudal Age. Though I don't know if it gets the inherent pierce armor in any of the upgrades either. Can't say for sure. I guess if he, most players don't go for Veteran Warrior Scouts. They usually go for other items. Let's spot these forest puppers and berries as 4 Warrior Scouts. You can see here that this health regen is quite high. Running forward, trying to get some good damage. Getting some good hits there as well. We'll find a good volley down the Imperial Official. Imperial Officials do have more health than regular villagers. Does scout one of the Warrior Scouts now. Currently there are 7 Warrior Scouts to pull on field. He's eyeing for the forward mining pit. He may take time to actually mine this one here. And do note as well, this map is a little bit sparse on gold deposits. There are 4 gold deposits on each side of the map. So, and there's only potential up to 4 mining pits once you get up to Imperial Age. So you have to be very careful of not consuming the mining pits before consuming the entire gold deposit. It'd be a bit difficult to keep this one secure, but It also does provide a lot of mass, so if his opponent assaults this region, he can trade all these structures for time. Do know how the survival tech is being researched by the Malians. He could go for, what's it called? No, he's already gotten, professional scouts. Now they're bringing back a large deposit of deer. In fact, this is the big deposit there, not the small deposit. So he does go ahead and steal all of his opponent's primary source of deer. There's a bunch of small deposits to steal. 9 deer in total, 9 forest puppers. And this will give the Malian player a lot of food to work with, so he doesn't have the free golden cows. This probably already paid for itself. After all, the cows that people like to go for they have the same collection rate as deer. They cost 90 gold per cow, and what, they 800? Try and click on the cow. I think the capacity is what, 800? Only 500, so and a deer is 350. So collecting up 5 deer will recover the cost of professional scouts, I believe. If on my very quick offhand map. Vegeta is now going for a massive wave of spearmen. Very nice. He knows about the warrior scouts. Now spearmen will take time to kill. Oh wait, those are villagers, not spearmen. They pull out spears to take on the boar, and I got that confused with the spearmen over here. My bad. He does go and kill off the boar there, claim up some of these deer, this small deer deposit that was right around here. You could take time for this deer deposit as well. This one's probably not going to be accessible anymore if that's another additional town center going up. The Malian player's not got an additional town center at the moment. Costs the same amount as any other civilization town center, barring the Mongols, which is more expensive than 900. And now it's going to take time to go from cattle ranches. Seeing they're in a big line here. He's likely eyeing the Grand Fulnari Corral. It's a little bit passive at the moment, so it looks like both sides are eyeing for the eco. And this is his deer deposit not being claimed up. Very nice. This one is a bit more, I suppose based on its location, survival scouts will make it at least a bit more capable of being lack of harass. Now that all the deer are being deposited on the town center now. This will give the Malian player a lot of food to work with. And even if he does consume all that food, there's always these berry bushes. As well as he's going to get the cattle ranch as well, so he's going to be set on food for a very long time. He is getting out 6 cattle ranches at the moment. While the Chinese player is eyeing for additional villagers, he's eyeing for his free production. This also frees up a lot of population space to do other things with. He's also down right now by 12 villagers. Let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit. Since both sides are just eyeing for eco. The Malian player is about to age up. The Chinese player is relatively close as well. The Malian player can now age up, and there's the Grand Fulani, however you pronounce it, Corral. Horsemen trying to buy for a bit of harassment. The warrior scouts will spot them. And does spot these forest puppers there. He does have 3 villagers to pick up the 3 forest puppers. Astronomical clock tower now on the build queue. He may go for the veteran warrior scout research as well, based on the number of warrior scouts on the field. He also has mixed in a handful of archers. Chinese players now eyeing for some aggression. Warrior scouts are trying to find a single spearman. They do receive some hits there, but the health regen will top them off. Right now, the Chinese player does have a large military pool on the field. Horsemen are advancing forward. These cattle ranches do have 500 health, so they're pretty easy to kill off. The house, same health as the Mullion housing. Archers advancing forward. Do not get the veterans so far research, not the veteran warrior scout. It's also taking time to collect that gold deposit. Hasn't touched this one at the moment. So it is receiving a large amount of gold collection from both of those passively. If you take a look, try to look at their max resource income, Mullion player has about 2,000 income. The Chinese player does have a little bit more, around 2,400. Veteran sofas are advancing forward. Does have the regular archers as well. Imported armor on the way. These horsemen are going to get quickly ripped apart. He's going for the mining pit. Does have the mining pit ablaze. Single villager can just come forward and get it repaired on up. Got some spearmen in the mix as well. Archers need to focus on those spearmen, but the horsemen trying to focus on those archers. We do have +1 pierce armor research by blue. The Chinese player does have +1 pierce armor as well. We also got all the economic level 1 economic techs as well for both players. Veteran Silver now seeing a bit of hits there. Now Pink's trying to pursue this veteran sofa. Now getting some more pierce armor, very nice. The import armor has completed, so this sofa will soon have 6 pierce armor. Those opponents not pulling out any archer units. We do have a clock tower nest of bees on out on the field. The sofas do get bonus damage versus infantry, while the warrior scouts do still retain their bonus damage for the siege. There's a nest of bees, gets some good damage there. Trying to pursue this nest of bees now. Archers need to hit those spearmen. Now it's a bit of a messy melee there. Overall, good dodge there. Nest of bee does see a bit of fire there. Looks like one of the warrior scouts do go down. The warrior scouts will quickly pop up the health, whatever remains of them. They only have 5. He only has 5 left on the field. SB is now getting repaired on up. We also got a granary here as well. Monk collecting up the first relic from Magenta. Very nice. Does take out that horseman there. Horseman now engaging. Got a massive nest of bees hit there on the horse on the sofas. When the veteran warrior scouts do go down, archers gain some good hits there on these spearmen, taking out individually. Also pushing forward. Got the sofas pulling back. Sofas see quite a bit of damage there. Got a good number of horsemen put up by Magenta. Blue's overall just disintegrating. Just needs a bit more sofa on the field. He's doing a good job taking out those spearmen. Veteran horsemen right now do 12 damage. The veteran sofa has 20 damage, as well as 5 half armor. Let's take out that veteran sofa there as well. These spearmen still pose massive threat. Magenta needs to continue building those spearmen. Going for additional nest of bees would not hurt. Now we've got this force advancing on forward, or not. And the Sacred Site's now trying to be captured on up. SB is trying to find another barrage. Finds a good hit there on the archers. Doesn't take any of them out at the moment. There are 3 nested bees out in the field. That is quite a bit of a number. More warrior scouts are a bit more the counter unit. You may want to get out some spring galds. Do see some more housing here. Don't see any spring galds in the build queue. At this point in time, if he has trouble picking out those SPs, I think Springald is going to be the mandatory counter. Up here, do have these sofas running around. Big barrage there. Minimize the damage to one sofa. Finds another volley there. Gets a good damage from these archers. SCPs are pretty good at tracking units. So if they run away, if they don't start, the burst will track them and follow them. And so if they don't, they have to start moving after the burst completes. But the problem is, those closer ranges hits like this, the rockets do connect the ground before even the last rocket's fired. Now those SCPs do manage to get overran by those sofas. Very good. Most of the Blues archers have gone down, but so has most of Magenta's army as well. There's not Iron for counterattack there. Does get a nice spear brace there with those spearmen. Does have a couple of these warrior scouts in the mix as well, so he does have good spotting. Warrior scouts actually have still full health, and their bonus damage to siege units will be very useful. Does pick up that Nesavese now, got additional Nesavese now put on the field. Blues has a local force out on the field, eyeing for more Sofa and archers. Ink's eyeing, Magenta's eyeing for more Nesavese, more Lancers, and more Spearmen. He's going to engage Sofas a bit higher quality. Nesavese now getting overrun by these Sofas. Let's take out those archers there. Blues archers pushing forward. SCPs will get overrun immediately by these Sofas. SCPs, of course, Clock Tower SCPs do have a bit more health, so maybe it will save it if he takes the extra health. One Sofa remains, it does save the SCPs. Lancers are being focused down, they do get cleaned on up. Oh no, the SCPs does go down there to these other two Sofa that showed up from nowhere. Lancers overall are a good item if you can mass produce them quick enough. They are higher quality than Sofas. They can't get the 6 hack armor, while the Sofas can get the 7. 20 damage, 195 health versus Lancers 230 health and 26 damage. Do now have poison arrows not being researched. Sofas, I'm not sure where these Sofas even coming from. Second sight being captured up by Magenta, but that monk is being bitten. Magenta needs more spearmen. He's not doing much at the moment as well. There's still quite a large army on his doorsteps. He could go for some more horsemen to engage his archers. Lancers are going to be useful in engaging those Sofas, but he needs also more spearmen for that. Nice hit volleys there, and as well crossbows would be pretty good as well. Sofas are classified as heavy. Blue does get forced back there, got another wave of Sofas fancy forward, does get another engagement with Sofas. Poison arrows now been researched, which will be effective versus everything, including heavy. SB gains some damage there, does stop that outpost from going up. Magenta's army is slowly being blown apart, so is Blue's. SB's overall doing some great work there. The lack of Springald's blood up at Blue is causing some big issues for him. He's not taking cost-effective engagements. Overall, he's taking very cost-ineffective engagements. We have now defensive keep over here. Magenta has, of course, is now cleaning up this central plateau gold. There's also a keep here to protect the southern gold there. And now the Hankineer sluts are engaging the housing. Hankineer sluts, so he's upgrading an outpost somewhere. May have been this one. We do now have the Musvadi healing wall stealth technology. Musvadi are the anti-armor specialists. Overall, Magenta does have a smaller military force, though Magenta's military force is a much higher quality of all these knights, or lancers, and Nesabes. Though, of course, a cheap cavalry. costing 180 total. Lancers do cost a staggering 1 or 240. Musafati warriors are same cost as spearmen. They're fast. They do hit decently well. They do hit decently fast as well, and they do a lot of bonus damage with armor. However, we do got a massive number of nested bees here. I don't see a big engagement there. Nested bees fires a fall leap there. Looks like Magenta's front line is simply not large enough. He's trying to does fall back to his nested bees to have them get him protect there. Nested bees need to start focusing on those archers. Everything else is probably within its minimum range. But they're fighting good. Volleys against everything. Hitting everything. Those archers have seen massive amounts of hits there. There's 5 nested bees on the field. And overall, this nested bee is being saved. Not a single one went down. They hardly even got touched. They were able to disintegrate Blue's army. Doesn't need to take time to get out a lot of reinforcements, trying to get more Musafati warriors as well as sofas. Musafati, not only they're effective versus heavy, but versus spearmen, they are superior as well. So you can go for mass Musafati warriors and deal up with spearmen, but these nests of bees will rip them apart. Magenta's not eyeing for a forward keep. Nest of bees get some great damage there. Magenta's not close to aging up. Malians have cleared out their stores. The actual lack of villagers, the lack of second town center is really starting to hurt him with the mass production. Additionally, his military forces overall getting disintegrated by these nests of bees. The lack of spring gold is not really showing. I do have now the keep going, has been put on the front line. He has a lot of production structures, that's for sure. Housing structure will start going down. The Malian player needs spring gold. Got some idle villagers here as well. Starting to be slowly being picked on off. He can't be losing his villagers. They are critical, seeing how little number of them he has, and Malian player does back of the game now. This Anagreat saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see now, 11, 9, 19, here's a 32-minute, we can do that one, and 25 minutes, so we can do both of those. If you give me one moment, I do need to use the restroom before I get started. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another HBars 4 replay. Spawn on top left side as the Magenta Molians, we have Valdemar 1902. Spawn on bottom right side as the Orange Mongols, we have Powerhouse of the Cell, also known as Mitochondria. Let's see now, Molians versus Mongols. Mongols, of course, have two unique units during VOH. Magadai, which is a unit that's mostly worthless the entire game, and the Keshik, a very effective heavy cav, which I believe on one-on-one it is technically superior to the Sofa, the Malian counterpart in their heavy cav. Malians do of course have access to a lot of various unique units. If opponent deploys archers, he does have javelin throwers. If his opponent deploys out cavalry, he can throw out Danzo, among other things. Of course, the Mongols' primary advantage, economic advantage, is the lack of houses, but does have to pay more on structures, and a couple key structures really. The gear, which is twice as amount as any other drop-off point, and it's not really useful to use to migrate around. It is not very pleasant to do it. And the pasture, which is similar to the farm, does support about the same amount, 50 wood per villager. And the town center costing 900 rather than 750. Here now the Spearman advancing forward does have 6 Spearmen out in the field. And this is one of the few times where Mongols being aggressive to raid your opponent can be very useful. Danzo have 1 hack armor, so they can fight against these Spearmen a little bit better. Does get some javelin throws down the Khan. It was actually good to hit the Khan rather than these Spearmen, because a Khan, of course, can regenerate, and he's a ranged combatant, not a melee combatant. Spearman now trying to gauge the Danzo. Danzo are severely outnumbered. Does get some spears thrown there. He's trying to get some more torches. Javelin throws are now coming on in once again. The Malian player does actually need his housing as well, because he's going to be at pop cap relatively soon if he loses his house. Does get a good spear brace there. Does some orange spear stay back. Does get a bit of raid there. Give him 50 resources. We got a lot of Danzo here. More spearmen here. Right now, with our castle fish, we know torching down this one is actually a good idea because it'll put him very close to pop cap. But it's about ready to get burnt down. Some of these villagers or spearmen are quite damaged. Getting some damage there. Does get some good kills there. The Danzo, they are higher quality than Spearmen with the plus 1 hack armor and their javelin throws, but they still have to deal with numbers advantage. Saharan Trade Network now being put on a field. He could go for trade later on, so can the Mongol. Both of them have powerful trade benefits. And 2 of these houses have been burnt down, and this does put his opponent on pop cap, meaning he cannot build any more villagers at the moment. He's sold out. Losing all 4 of these Danzo will not free him up on that. Now got some torches raining on in. He's going to get some towns of the arrows fighting coming on in, which will do more economic damage to the Malian player. Does get another one of these houses start torching down as well. He has built more housing there. He has 1 spare population room, all can be used by that single villager. Got a large number of spearmen here. Gets some good damage. And there's more raid there. He's now could get some damage on the Saharan Trade Network. The Saharan Trade Network's already completed, just has to fall back. He does support 10 garrison spots there for those villagers. Let's take out Spearman there. These 2 Spearmen are just, they don't go down. Now we do got the next siege for the Malians. Silver Trees on the way, so both of them want to get their trade landmark up and going. The Malian player does still get some gold generation from this mining pit, and he can always rebuild his housing around it to get more free gold. We now have early pasture being deployed on the field, which will allow him to get some additional sheep. Actually, the Mongols do have a bit of food to work with, but I don't see any sheep around this town center, but he is collecting up these forest puppers. So that is a great source of food. Try and torch down some more housing. Orange does have a slight village advantage since he wasn't at pop cap. Orange does have enough gold as well for a pair of Keshiks. He does not have a stable for a pair of Keshiks, however. The scout could spot it, and if the scout, once the silver tree leaves the town center, you can just start torching it down, and that will prevent it from being redeployed. But the most annoying things you can do to a Mongol player is spot the silver tree with your scout and start throwing torches on it. Try and torch down another one of these housing. Does get a bit more raid there as well. These spearmen also wounded. Does not put in pop cap. He's starting to rebuild some of the housing over here around the mining pit. Also a bit of berries here as well. And Magenta still has a very good number of sheep here. Orange's con was pushed all the way forward. That may have forfeited most of the map's sheep to his opponent. So Magenta does have a good food reserve. Orange does not. He does have a single pasture. Does of course can still utilize his berries. Pasture's not exactly being properly tasked, however. The sheep are just being deposited out front. Now, do you have an archer range going up? He may be eyeing for some archers. Malian player is completely out of Donzo, going for his own archers. That means he is actually vulnerable to horsemen and Keshiks right now as well. Archer range does redeploy, not in the radius of the Ovo. So we can't get the stone base production. And there we go. He's spearing advancing forward. They're oh so wounded. With a silver tree right here. Actually, the silver tree's not going all the way down here. Probably should. Though this does make the trader out a little bit safer. You got a bit more of a natural forest here. In actuality, if you all look closely in the mini-map, this area may be locked away from foot movement. There's actually only a little space here. Right here on the mini-map, if you look right here, there is solid green between these two forests. So there may not be traversable right here. Either way, with his trade now going back and forth, I would recommend throw some of the spearmen over here to prevent any sort of warriors, or to help prevent any sort of harassment. They're far too winded to stand around, so they can get some good attack on any advancing horsemen. More spearmen, more archers being pulled on the field. He cannot reliably rely on his spearmen. He does have this one does have warrior scouts research, and now can have some sofas as well. So a mix of spearman archer would be a good composition. It's his opponent on his current composition. He's only gone a handful of trade caravans. He does have 5, which does give him improved, was it wood or food from the trade? I always forget which one comes first. The last one's gold. You now have the Curl Tide going on up, which is a powerful both offensive and defensive placement. I find it best for defense. With the extra damage and health regen, it really can make it pretty hard to crack your front line, so you can fight with an inferior number of force against your opponent's superior numbers. Because the extra damage will pan out, plus also the health regen as well. It's also great for a forward siege encampment, since it also the damage benefit does affect siege weapons. If you're curious what it exactly says, here it is. Nearby units get health regen 1 per second and get additional 20% damage. Warrior Scout and Sofa now moving around. Those spearmen, as I mentioned beforehand, it's always a good idea to put a small, as a Mongol, since you can't build palisade walls, it's always a good idea to put a handful of spearmen to prevent these small raids. And now we've got a Sofa and Warrior Scout ready to hit these traders. Do now Castle Wage for the Mongol. The Malian is a little bit far away from going to the next age. Malian's now eyeing for additional mining pit over here. He's also going to try to capture the left side of the map. And does take out one of those traders there. Malians and not Malians, Warrior Scouts and Sofas see a bit of fire there. They may take out that trader there. Their next trader is not being deployed at the moment. He is currently 8 deployed out in the field. At minimum, you want to try for 15. 20 is a pretty good number. 30 is probably a number you should not go past. Now he's trying to claim with the sheep there. There's too many villagers for those sheep. He could go ask half them back onto the berries. Doggo does find a bite there. We do got a Keshik here. And over here, does have this trader now getting hit as well. Mongo, of course, has the age advantage, but is getting kept in space by the single unit. And also the Malian player is not eyeing for any trade at the moment. He primarily went for the Saharan Trade Network before as a defensive placement. Zog Doggo will kill off the villager. Silver Tree now being employed more farther back, get the maximum trade income, as well as going for some outposts to improve it. He's now going to heavily rely on being defensive, eyeing to maximize economy, not eyeing to go on aggression. We do not have the Grand Funari full Ani Corral. There are currently 6 pastures here, loaded up with 18 cows. That does leave him 2 free cows. There's also a good amount of deer still in this region, some forest puppers to be claimed. The Kurultai now backing off. I didn't realize how far the Kurultai has pushed them forward. Orange and Magenta both have a relatively small military force. 23 to 17. Kurultai is trying to be migrated forward. And the Grand Funari Corral has been completed. No economic techs whatsoever, no upgrades for the Mongolians seems like, and there's very little upgrades for the Mongol as well. The horticultural and all the other food technologies does affect the cattle farms, does get a volley arrows there on the Kurultai. And now do have the siege engineers, regular siege engineers being pulled up by the Mongol. Do not have the man-at-arms and archer advancing on forward. We do have decent force here. We do have actually now the garrison of Spearman I mentioned beforehand, as well as now Spring Golden placement. He could go for Yam Network to help him improve the move speed of these Spearmen, but these Spearmen are very wounded, so this force can take out the Spearmen. Will he realize that he can take it out? Spearmen do not get a spear brace there, and the Spearmen will get overran due to the fact that they're very wounded. Just too many here for them to take out. Let's get that trader inside that spring out of that outpost there. Keshik's now moving down south to engage. Got more outposts before the field. Some of these traders will go on down. He does have only 4 forts remaining, so these Keshiks will be enough to take them out. Whether or not you take out any more traders beforehand is another matter. Looks like he will take out one more. Sophus now getting some damage. And we'll find another wooden trader there, taking him out as well. Really trying to hit down these traders. Takes another trader there. And got this force. It will receive some Spring Gold Fire. Warrior Scout does have good health regen. Now it's dead. Next Spring Gold shot. Will take the kill there as well. So he has killed a number of those traders. There's 6 villager killed versus his opponent's 1. Got this mining pit going or collecting up some more gold. He has to build another mining pit over here, but these mines are close to the forest, so you will not be able to get them fully saturated. This gold mine is running dry pretty quickly. The Malian player is spending all of his resources on some upgrades. So is the Mongol player. And we do got another raiding force here of these sofas. More Spring Gold placements going on up. These sofas can easily take out those outposts. And these Spring Golds are expensive. Especially for the Mongols who simply can't get a lot of gold. That's basically a minute's worth of, not gold, stone. It's a minute's worth of stone if he ever destroys one of those outposts. Right now we do have 15 traders now pulled in the field, so he does have access to the full Silk Road. And right here, age drop off should be yep, 66 and 75. It's usually like seeing the outpost, the trade post a little bit farther in. It's not the 77, 77. But good enough of these sketches are going down to this massive force. These archers have not been upgraded poison arrows just yet. The Kurultai will be a good defense point here. Magenta has a larger force. Poison arrows on the way. Hack damage on the way as well. The extra damage from the Kurultai will greatly help engage these sofas with the archers, but does fall back there. Has a handful of crossbows here as well. Kurultai trying to redeploy. Needs to just pack up and go over here. Got these forces pushing forward. Has a good number of man-at-arms as well. Man-at-arms in this moment in time are quite good. He does not have access to poison arrows just yet. Man-at-arms doing 6 pierce armor. Does use the arrow research. Don't know if he has the improved arrows. Yep, nope, he does not. Kurultai trying going up once again. Trying to get that sofa out of the way. There you go. Now you can get the Kurultai to go out on the field. Aganel, the boy on the field. Fires a good volley there. Gains some damage. The Orchard's front line has been broken. Of course, now the archers have the Kurultai up. Mangonel in a good position there, getting bonus damage. He's trying to focus on the Mangonel. The Mangonel does receive health regen from the Kurultai. Orange's military is still small, getting some repairs onto the Mangonel. Does focus on the villagers. Gets a good volley there on those archers. Some of these wood collectors are getting hit as well. Orange is going for another Mangonel. Mangonel's getting some much needed health regen. Now the Mangonel does go down. Hopefully Mangonel can deploy on this side. More orange archers being deployed on the field. He simply does not have enough production structures at the moment. These villagers are getting picked off as well. Does fire another volley there. Gets out of sofas there. Has some javelin throwers in the region. Now got some more man-arms point field. Poison arrows have been researched. And got the Mangonel finds a good volley there as well. Another good hit there on those archers. Sofas overrunning the Mangonel. Got a Keshix deploy on the field as well. Mangonel does go down, barely. And arms, a Keshix push way forward. The health regen will keep him alive away from the poison or arrows. And now Orange will get the good counterattack going. Orange does have a much smaller force. 2-1, but its quality is quite high. Keshix, oh, a lot of these archers are quite wounded there. Keshix do find a quick 3 kills. And arms move around the flank. They maybe will hit over here. I'm going to take a look at the Ovo and see what research got him. Keshix is now falling back. Ovo is deployed right here. Ovo does not have the Whistling Arrow nor the Raid Bounty. Against the Malians, Raid Bounty, it can be incredibly juicy. This will turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 structures. It can turn those 10 structures from 250 resources. If you get the improved one, it will provide you 750 resources in the form of food and gold. does have the Yam network here, giving some good mobility for these infantry units. It does not affect the wagons. And now the outpost will go down quite quickly. Does have another outpost here, being upgraded to Spring Gold as well. Orange claimed 1 relic, Magenda's claimed 2. I also got these Sophos trying to get some raid, but they will be pursued. Orange has not been producing a lot of forces out on the field. Man-at-arms getting picked off one at a time, and the poison arrows will hurt over time. Archers engaging towards the Kurultai. Yeah, I think he's out of... no, it looks like some of these archers are in range of Kurultai. And it looks like some of these catchers do stay alive. The Kurultai can't heal them up, give them enough time. And that villager will go down. Another outpost going up here. There is now a breach, looks like, right there. I'm not sure if these villagers were... Yet they were collecting up wood, so there may be now a breach, I believe. Or based on how these guys move around, there may not be a breach. It's hard for me to tell. Of course, with the nearby tower here, the Yam network is able to get some good movement speed for its villagers to greatly help out the wood collection. Magenda's now pushing forward with this massive force. And now we do have the improved raid bounties going up. Very good. There's some exposed mining camps that could give them a lot of resources. I got a Mangonel on the build queue, but this could be quickly picked off. He needs to get that Mangonel over here. This could draw his opponent's fire or ire, but it does quickly go down. He not advance in time. He has a much smaller force on the field. He does have more civilian units as well. Man-at-arms and archers engaging. We got the arrow research. The Kurultai is providing some much needed health regen and damage. So this force is probably a little bit even. Got a lot of archers going up with Magenta. Keshik's getting some good damage on him. Each swipe they get is 3 health to keep them alive. Starting to be a fire there. More archers pushing forward, getting some good damage. We knocked out the Kurultai, packing on up and moving its way forward. Now we got these more Sophos push way forward. Orange force here is about 30-ish strong. Over here, we got a larger force here, but a bunch of lower quality archers. And the Kurultai is really making these guys punch well above their weight. 11 the archers go from 9 damage up to 11 damage. The Sophos do have 7 pierce armor, so the 9 damage gets up. It basically is a 50% or 100% damage increase against the veteran Sopha, which is actually quite massive. That's the power of the Kurultai versus the high pierce armor units. Orange has his gold deposit been claimed, but it's going to be hit very, very soon. He does have an outpost in this region. They want to cancel that upgrade. It cannot complete. It's going for all these stone, all these spring golden placements. It's not really worth, in my opinion. He can go for some basic economic techs. This is his own, at this point in time, that's his only economic advantage, as well as the good traders. Got a big line of outposts here. Current transitions of the military over here. Catchers are engaged in this force. We'll go get some free raid from that structure. If you cancel a structure or delete a structure after receiving any sort of damage from a Mongol player, the Mongol player still receives all of their raid bounty. And all those villagers are now dead. There's a lot of scattered woods here. It'd be hard to move around, which actually may be great for those archers. Kurultai now set on up. for a good defense position there. Does get a good number of horsemen. Horsemen do bonus hit versus the archers. Keshiks and horsemen will do relatively the same versus them, but horsemen are relatively cheaper and quicker to produce. And these archers now exiting single file. Magano finds a massive hit there, improved by the Krillotide for massive damage. Next up, Magano's shot is out of range. He's not pushing forward. Could have potentially got some more damage there if he was a bit more attentive. Horsemen push way forward, trying to get some damage onto these sofas, but the sofas are just outnumbering them. He only has Warrior Scout, not Veteran Warrior Scout at the moment. And now the Mongol player would get a good amount of raid here. There is 4, 8. I think there's 11 or 12 buildings right there, so that's going to be a lot of raid. Almost 1,000 resources worth of raid right here. This will give the Mongol a massive bump to his economy. Krillotide setting on up here. They also denied that free gold generation, as was quite a bit of population housing. The Mongolian players now at top cap. We're going to need build a bit more housing at home. Some of these archers are streaming on in. They can be quickly smited down. Sofa's charging forward, but they will have trouble advancing forward with the Krillotide improved archers. Now it's starting to counterattack there. Magano finds a poor miss there. Sofa's now receiving a bit of fire there. Man-at-arms, the horsemen clashing with the sofas. Magano trying to find some good engagement there. Sofas receiving a bit of sporadic damage there. Magano finds a small splash hit there on the archers. Orange's front line has disintegrated. He simply needs some crossbows. More crossbows at least. He does have a handful of crossbows in the field. And the horsemen will fight against sofas, and sofas are of course higher quality than the horsemen. Orange's front line will disintegrate. He may want to take time and abandon or get the Krillotide out of there. His archers still here in good numbers. Now they're getting some great damage. Horsemen, or the sofas trying to fall back at these horsemen flanking Keshiks. Allowing his archers get some great damage on in, and they have a good amount of damage to get on in. Do now have these additional horsemen advancing on forward. We'll be able to find these archers no problem. Some of these sofas trying to hit these archers. They do bonus versus infantry. More horsemen, more Keshiks, more crossbows, more man-at-arms streaming on in. We just simply got more archers here by the Mongolian player. The Mongolian player's reserve resource down to the minimum. Low gold, low in wood, has small reserve of food. But the Mongol player does have a bit of resources for everything, and enough for Magano, and good resources for everything else. Good damage to these forces. They're starting to back on off. The Krillotide will save these units from poison. The poison damage is what? 3 damage over 6 seconds? Yep. So the Krillotide 1 health regen per second is greater than the 1/2 damage per second of the poison arrows. Gets more mining techs, very good. Or just economic techs. He doesn't have to worry about collecting up any gold since he has gotten enough trade out in the field. 31's plenty. Does have some idle traders somewhere potentially. Trying to advance forward, Krillotide has been pulling field. The numbers are even. Orange's quality is much higher. Orange has now a good number of crossbows in his force as well, so he's able to hit those sofas much more reasonably. He's doing a good job at keeping the Krillotide to support these forces. Right now, the Mongolian player may want to go for some Mangonels. Hit these archers. Now you have the White Stupa being pulled on the field. Based on how much he does have a good reserve of stone, you can perhaps get some powerful upgrades on the blacksmith, like the improved biology research or improved infantry tactics. Incendiary arrows would be pretty good. Not improved infantry tactics, that doesn't exist. Or does it? Now I'm getting really used up. Archers of Fancy and Fortune get some good damage there. These archers now falling on back. And these units do escape out over there. And there's the Castle Age. Unfortunately, on some of this infrastructure, there's a lot of infrastructure here, and the Mongolian player does surrender. I think what really helped out the Mongol player was literally torching this all down. It gave him so much resource to utilize. This is Anagrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Not that button. Let's go ahead and go to another player, since I've already now casted, what, 3 of his? Hidden. Here we go, got some games, not a lot of 2v2s, and that's from last week, and I've already perused those. I guess this one here. Those games are pretty old. Not the one I'm looking for. Here we go. And those are from last week. I wonder, is there any replays from these other players I went through? A bit more recent. 31st, nope. And I think I went through these, right? Or was this blocked? Yeah, I think, yeah, I went through these. Let's try some of his other variations of his account. Hidden, of course. Let's try his main. I don't think he's touched this for a long time. Got some 2v2s from last week. Oh, guess I'm going down more down the list then. Here we go. We got some replays here. This should work unless I already cast this one. I remember seeing that name earlier. I wonder. Should I make sure I haven't casted it yet? Yesterday? I could have casted it. I may just skip that one since I think I casted it yesterday. Let's try to find some other ones then. Not that one. Could do this one. Another possible one. No, I may have cast that one yesterday. That one's getting the last week. This one does not seem familiar, and I would have. Yeah, I don't think I've cast this one. Let's go and do this one then. Greetings everyone, and great here with another HPR's 4 replays. Well, on the bottom left side as the green French, we have 7 6 5 6 1 1 9 8 3 8 7 6 5 5 8 5 6. Well, on the top right side as the blue Roost, we have Dio Favanti Paneris. So let's go ahead and fast forward, and since we do have a Roost player on the field, let's go and back on out. Select the Roost player to see the trade bounties. So far, he has 0. You monster. We have green finding those forest puppers there. This large one has not been found there. Blue does find the central one. Blue does, of course, find these. This is his other scout in this region. We'll find an exotic doggo. Green not pushing forward to hit that scout at the moment. Blue's advancing around, does find some sheeple in this region, and does find this deer deposit. Green has not found this one just yet. I think Green only has 1 scout at the moment, so this will give Blue a significant amount of trade bounty. There'll be no doubt he'll get up to tier 2. There could be a slight possibility he gets up to tier 3. Got additional scout now deployed on the field. He does claim up all those forest puppers there. He's at 240, so 1 more deer kill, like one of these 3, will get him his tier 2. Yes, he got that last deer as well, so now he's at tier 2. He'll unlikely get tier 3, and maybe possibly find some more wolves to kill, and kill off both boars. That is unlikely though, because he needs to kill off a good number of wolves for that, and there's not a lot of wolves on this map. You know, the Kremlin not being pulled on the field, as well as the Chamber of Commerce, the relatively rare landmark. The French player could take time. There's a lot of laned paths here. You can go ahead and get out some palisade walls going. Doesn't have to go, since these traders are free, doesn't have to go for a big trader out immediately, because whatever resource you get is free at the moment. You can always maximize it later on. So I would say Greeny's guy to get out some early palisade walls here. Maybe try to get the boar within this walls as well. Blue is now advanced to the next age. French player is eyeing for the next age soon. And Sing, we don't see any stables out. Of course, you can't get stables out in this age. He's also going for stone there. He may be not eyeing for any Royal Knights anytime soon. Team bit hits there. He's going for a large number of economic attacks. First free trader deployed down the field. As I mentioned beforehand, Green should really eye securing up the flank. He's getting up a lot of stone as well. Blue does spot the Chamber of Commerce, I believe. Let's switch out just to make sure he has seen it. Yes, he has seen it there. Of course, he can't see the traders. He knows where the trade post is, however. Blue's not eyeing for this town center now. And the first trader now pulling the field. Let's see. This trader route only provides 14, a really small amount, but of course, they're free. Scout running around, would not receive any hits at the moment. And the other side is currently getting any sort of military units on the field. Roost's now eyeing from early night and some spearmen. Gonna apply some pressure to his opponent. The French player has not gone for any military structures just yet. Does get a third or second town center out himself, and there's a third one out as well. He has a pretty good network of councilors there to keep his traders nice and safe. He's going for aggressive on these economic techs. He does get a good number of people on the field. He has, I think, all the feudal age ones, so he does get his, what, 5 free traders? He has not gone into professional scouts. That's just not worth it. Huh. The French can get that even cheaper. Still far too expensive. But now the Roost player is eyeing for some aggression. He's going for some siege engineers. We may need... The French player has deployed out no military into the field, and nor any military structures just yet. He's going too greedy military on his economy. He doesn't have a lot of wood yet either. He's going to be hit hard. Got the guild hall going on up. Got fast castle for the French. Arbiteers would be good. The guild hall is not the same in the campaign. Don't think about that. I know about that. The guild hall in this one is economic, while the one in the campaign is like cheap, fast arbiteers. Or was it just arbalest in that version? By the way, the guild hall is going up. It acts sort of a storehouse slash bank. You select what resources you want to collect up. It will generate it for you. The more resources you have in store, the faster your resources get generated. So for big payouts. Perfect for stone and for mass keep play to go along the Red Palace for Imperial Age. Still, no military units split up at Green. Does he see the battering ram? What does Green see? Green does spot all of that. He's going to try to probably quickly torch down this, Oh, he's going to get the battering ram for sure, but there's the knights pose a threat to the town center itself. These villagers, there's not enough room for all these villagers, so he will lose a good number of them. We do now have still no military production for Green. That's to hit those spearmen. Villagers trying to get some repairs there. Knights maybe going for those villagers. Let's get it garrisoned up all the way. He's now cooking up food that may be the default one, unless I'm sure. Town center's almost set ablaze. I'm not sure what Green's doing. He has no military units on the field. No military structures. His trade is so far still secure. He has no wood. Is he going Imperial Age? I think he's trying to get out of Red Palace. I do not agree with that. He does have, of course, a lot of town centers, or just 2. His opponent has 2. He has a good number of villagers right now. These traders could get hit as well. Town center arrows are raining on in. The knights do have pierce armor. Roost player is not eyeing to go next age. The trader does not get inside the town center. These villagers and the traders trying to back on off. These traders providing minimal income. Almost has enough for Imperial Age. He needs the Red Palace out somewhere. This town center will go down, and there's the Red Palace. He's trying to interrupt it. The town center does provide some arrow support. The villager count is quite similar. It says there's 40 villagers on the Red Palace. Does get a garrison inside this town center here. Got 10 additional arrows firing. Got the militia being deployed on the field as well. This town center is still firing away. It will be saved. These villagers are repairing up the town center. He will lose a large number of these villagers. This guild hall needs to be on stone. needs to get inside the red palace there. The Arbalest emplacements will rip apart everything here. Unless they do, what, 62 damage? Or just 60 damage? 61 damage at the moment. The militia pushing down south. They're just some guys collecting berries. Now we got Imperial Age versus Feudal Age. Bruce player has enough gold to go to Castle Age. You can get some free traders out with the more economic techs, but he does save his town. No, it's still on fire. He needs to buy a bit of... He has a bit of food stored up in Guild Hall. He can cash that out. He needs to get some other resources collecting up. The militia die due from dysentery. This town center is still set ablaze. He's trying to collect up some more wood now. This town center does, of course, have now the Arbalest emplacement as well. This night's not going to last very long. There goes... And look how fast the Arbalest emplacement fires. It does kill off that one wounded villager and then goes down. He does find opportunity on these villagers. Our town center is no longer set ablaze. Of course, the Arbalest emplacement here, and this Arbalest placement can get some good damage as well. Guild Hall still set to food for some odd reason. I think. Oh, he doesn't really have any. No, he's collecting berries. I'm not sure what Green's eyeing. He's eyeing for more stone. High trade house go on up. That will allow him to get some trebuchet. Or he's gonna go for his own Imperial Age. He has a massive gold reserve. He does have a slight village advantage. Both players at 2 town centers. Of course, the Chamber of Commerce will provide him some more. Traders provide some mediocre gold. Of course, the merchant guilds may be a bit more useful in this case. These players now in Castle Age. Guild Hall is now providing stone. Does withdraw the food there. He's got an amount of food. He's now going for another town center. Which does have, of course, Arbalest emplacement. He's denying that wood deposit as well. He does have a bit of wood over here. No lumber camp. That single trader will go down, though he's getting annihilated by the Arbalest, and that's how powerful the Arbalest. It is absurdly powerful. Its rate of fire needs to be greatly decreased. Honestly, 1.5 second attack speed. Its damage output's also really high. That it even puts pretty sizable holes in battering rams. You have to get your battering rams upgraded with more pierce armor before engaging the Red Palace, or use trebuchets. He does get this town center rebuilt here as well. So he has 4 town centers. Is he eyeing for a Wonder Rush? I have no idea. We do have a good number of stables on field. He does have Castle Age Veteran Royal Knights. Those trying to pull up some walls there. And the Arbalest does take out that Warrior Monk as well. Do not got the Elite Royal Knight research. Bruce Player's not playing out a military force unit as well. He's eyeing for Imperial Age. He can now get Imperial Age. The high armor is probably going to be useful for cheaper siege units. Got a handful of farms not being bought by the French. Still on gold for the Guild Hall. More wooden fortifications going up. High armory now being deployed out. Elite Royal Knights, they do not have World Bloodlines research. We've got now TIE Squadrons being deployed out. Those claim 3 relics. Green only has 1. The last relic is picked up by Blue, so he will have 4 relics. And the Royal Knights will manage to go through this breach. Green does have a superior number of village modes, as he does have 4 town centers. Got a good wave of militia advancing forward as well. Worma could try and go for conversion here. Got elite spearmen, and Green will make his way over to this wood line. Blue does file a handful of traders here. There's plenty of gold in the map for him to utilize. Doesn't get anything special with his traders. And his knight passively activated there, get some good health regen. Royal Knights now need to start torching down, make some more breaches. And all those militia do die from dysentery. Royal Knights falling back. There is no breach over here for them to retreat through. More palisade walls going on up. And these elite spearmen will take out these Royal Knights. We have now the Merchant Guilds being researched. He does have all the economic tech, so he should have a good number of those Raid caravans now on the field. He has 10 at the moment. Stone deposit here has been cleaned on up. He can collect up this stone deposit as well. He does have 1,000 stone. Deploying out keep in this region could help him secure up his flank. We got another town center being pulled up at Green, but these palisade walls have gone up. The town center is in place, so I can collect up both the stone and the gold deposit. Villagers, however, will need to start torching down those walls. Blue right now has 35 forces on the field, as well as a bunch of Streltsy and Spearmen. The Streltsy still being built. And this town center will go up with its defensive arbors placement. Does get out another keep here. It's going to get the Inland Incentives bonus. Hopefully the guild hall is still set up gold. He has a massive gold deposit, as well as a good amount of gold actually collected. I think he should go for stone. Stone is one of those resources that can be a bit hard to claim overall in the end, and he could potentially eye for wonder of a bunch of keeps. He could go ultra defensive. I mean, French can be one of the most powerful defensive factions, thanks to the Red Palace and the Guild Hall. It's a powerful combination. Because think about this, he has not drawn recently from the Guild Hall there, and he could, if he was collecting stone rather than gold this entire time, he could have 3,000 stone. And along with each one have a free arbos emplacement, that can really lock down entire sections of the map. The Guild Hall is honestly one of the most powerful economic landmarks in the entire game. It can really add up. Primarily the fact that you can designate to keep stone, which is very important. Got a good number of Streltsy now pulled on the field. Batarams now pushing way forward. Those not going for defensive keep. Does torch down that area, can collect up these berries, is collecting up the stone, and the arbos emplacement does take out that gold mine in no time flat. Got a good wave of Batarams being pulled up by Green. Got some hand cannoneers pulled up by Green as well. Good job decapturing that sacred site. And now we got these batteries straight forward, trying to get some damage on in. Of course, these Royal Knights can, of course, take out these Batarams in no time. These hand cannoneers may want to hit these Streltsy. Or it's just not hit the Batarams. Let's take out the Royal Knight there. Hand cannoneers who find a good volley on those spearmen. Regular archers would be very useful in this situation. They outrange the Streltsy as well as get bonus damage onto these spearmen. Hand cannoneers trying to deal with these Streltsy or spearmen now. Royal Knights gets hits there. Royal Knights quick advance on forward. The keep is providing some fire support. The large number of Batarams in this region. Streltsy not being overrun by these elite knights. Elite Royal Knights. And Canadians get some good damage there. Batarams going to hit this various infrastructure. They're trying to force down some of these Batarams now. Royal Knights advancing forward, trying to get some damage onto these Streltsy now. Both Streltsy have been cleaned on up. A couple Batarams did get some good damage on it, but they're being cleaned up as well. Got the University here going for chemistry as well as port architects. Let's see the guild hall as well. Is it still content for resources? Yes, there's about nearly 5,000 gold in the stores. I wonder if the gold collection ever gets capped, or the increased resource drop off. More infrastructure now being deployed on the field. Got also this wooden fortress here as well. Streltsy do find a good volley on these Royal Knights. Green's Cannoneers push way forward. Chemistry's almost complete. Now with chemistry complete, they can put bigger holes in these spearmen. Another wave Batarams pushing forward. He has rebuilt the infrastructure there. Villagers once again pushing way forward to torch some of these infrastructure. Green has a very small military force in the field. Same trouble with food production. You may want to get that guild house or just start buying a lot of food. Hell, going for some siege weapons wouldn't hurt as well. He doesn't really collect up this gold. He has a good number of traders on the field. He needs to eye for other resources such as food. Batteries have cleaned through a lot of the infrastructure, but that can be replaced. The castle or the keep, not so much. Villagers have been cleaned on up. It does reduce its max population. We do have now some French cannon now being pulled on the field. Green's Batarams trying to hit the Blues keep. Green's keep could potentially go down. Right now, Green could just use archers. He'll be generalist both against the Streltsy against these spearmen, and they're nice and cheap. He does go and buy a lot of food there, so he can get some more production going. He's going for more hand cannoneers to be on equal footing with the Streltsy. But right now, he needs a bit of a force more immediately in the guild hall. He's not making use of the guild hall. He has all this gold stored on up, but currently nothing. He's not collecting up anything. He's providing 200 deposit of stuff. 200 maybe the max of each deposit. And Green does back up the game as well. He didn't make use of the guild hall. He had so much gold stockpiled up. He could have got it, bought a bunch of food, bought a bunch of stuff, and did not do anything with it. This is Angrid saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And that could have been a very interesting replay, but the French player did not know what to do. I had no idea what the French player was doing the entire game. This one. There was another replay, right? Problem is, some of these replays I believe I have casted. Yep, let's do this one. It's a little bit short. Here's a name I could get. Greetings everyone, and Grade here of another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the left side as the Magenta French. We have a foreign name. Spawn on the right side as the Blue Abbasid Dynasty with Theo Favante Perneris. However you pronounce that. Let's see, French versus Abbasid Dynasty. The French, of course, in Feudal Age have access to the Royal Knight, a very powerful cavalry unit. The Abbasid Dynasty doesn't have access to any unique unit in Feudal Age other than the Camel Archer, which are a little bit slow. They do hit hard, they're good against spearmen, but likely the French composition is going to be Royal Knight Archer. Abbasid Dynasty, we'll probably have to go with Spearman Archer in return. And you will have, of course, more items in Castle, so you may want to eye for a bit of a faster castle if possible to get off some camera riders to his opponents for Royal Knights. Wheelbarrow being researched as well. Usually most people don't go for wheelbarrow in Dark Age, but you will get his Dark Age wheelbarrow up and going. Let's see now, Magenta does find some sheep down there. He has a good amount of sheep here. And there is the School of Cavalry versus the Military Wing. The Military Wing gave you a small little combat force to work with. School of Cavalry and the Military Wing looks like to be complete roughly at the same time. I think Blue's slightly ahead, but they're going to be nearly identical. Blue's not trying to clean up some of these trees here. Probably trying to get out a lumber camp somewhere at least. He could go for these forward lumber camps first, since they're a little bit more exposed, and then keep the safe one back here. And now we do have the School of Cavalry now pulled on the field. We do see an early Royal Knight. And now we do also have the course of small military force of the Spearmen and the Archers, which will be more than plenty of a single Royal Knight, but if they start finding more than one, then they'll have a bit of trouble. Royal Knight on the field, another Royal Knight on the build queue. Blue Scout down south. Magenta Scout may want to stay with this Royal Knight. Trying just be a bit defensive here. Try and collect up enough stone to get out a town center. Going for the wood chopping research. Both players now have wheelbarrow. Fresh foodstuffs on the build queue as well. And now do have the Scout and Royal Knight advancing forward. Do got these Spearmen here. Unupgraded Spearmen, but they can still at least get a spear brace. Got multiple Royal Knights here. Got two Royal Knights here. We could see a spear brace. Nope, he decides to move forward there. Does get actually a charge attack there. Point-blank charge attack. And some of these villagers are starting to get hit there, having a bit of trouble running away. One villager does go down. Spearmen have both gone down. Royal Knights still have plenty of health. Counselor does get some good arrows there. Does get a nice couple kills there, taking out those spearmen as well as a pair of villagers. The one Royal Knight is severely wounded. May just want to keep him back at home and wait until Chivalry gets complete. We'll get some good health regen. This one has a bit of health to work with. Another Royal Knight pulled out the field. Magenta's not eyeing for a lot of stones, eyeing for his own second town center. Blue's now getting an additional town center deployed up. A little bit close to this original one. That will help keep the gold deposit safe, as well as the wood line going. Blue Scout does spot this, does see the charge attack there, and does see some town center arrows there. And Magenta's second town center is being deployed out near the fishies. The fish here can be collected at a pretty fast rate. They do get collected at the same rate as deer. Of course, they do have a smaller carrying capacity, being the same standard as a sheep or gold. But there's a lot of fish here, and they're in deposit of 500 as opposed to deer's deposit of 350.
ما حاجتك؟
Equites in avant. Commemontes.
أجل؟
Est facile, cavalier.
لدي مهمة؟
Attaque civiliers.
Got this force moving around the flanks. There's one mill here for better fish drop off. There's a handful of fish in this region. We have an outpost here purely for spotting. So there are 10 villagers there, and there's some extra ones here, so you will utilize the extra capacity from that outpost potentially as well. Got also a good number of forest puppers and berries in this region. There's a lot of food for the French to utilize in this region. That's why he's trying to collect it. You're now shively deployed on the field. I wonder where that wounded Royal Knight has gone. Trying to see it now, but I don't see it. We have these two Royal Knights facing forward. One of them's also quite wounded, but that's not the same wounded one. Is it inside the town center? Yes, it is inside the town center there.
Audite. Est facile, cavalier.
If Lou is paying attention, he can hear or see those deer being knocked around.
Comprendo.
Orchestre. Secund mondement. Commemontes.
And now do have boot camp being researched by the Abbasid Dynasty player. Zalak Dago does go down. Go and fast forward a little bit since both sides being a bit economic. But he's the Abbasid Dynasty player. He knows he can't really advance these Royal Knights on the field. Chili's now been activated, gains some much needed health regen on 2 of his Royal Knights. The French player does have a good number of archers out in the field as well. Getting a good number of them out to counter the large number of spearmen on the field. He's likely knows it's going to be existing.
Attention.
Royal Knights falling him back.
Secund mondement.
We got these archers trying to find another engagement.
Ordine tenets. Quitamus.
أجل مرحبا.
Equites in avant.
الرماح.
Equites in avant. Civiliers.
Running around. Not all too much at the moment. Trying to find another engagement. Do got phalanx now being researched as well as some pierce armor.
Si, comprendo. Est facile. Audite.
Plus 4 now trying to hit down south. Of course, he does go ahead and interrupt the health regen there. He pops could have torched down with not that one. The other one that was retreated back a long time ago is getting some good health regen as well. We now got 26 versus 32 units there. Finds a good volley of one of the Magenta's archers there. His spearmen are pretty far back there. Royal Knights trying to go for a charge. Spearmen advancing forward. With Phalanx research, he gets a really massive range on the spear brace as well. It's very deceptive.
سيروا أيها الرماحون. أغير الموضع.
Yeah, you can see here the spear wall 2.59 tile range, which is actually very significant.
Quitamus.
Single blue spearman right there. He's going to take the opportunity to take it out. Takes out that single villager. A good number of archers here, a good number of knights as well.
Si.
Trying to plot some horsemen as well. Let's see. Orange also has almost enough gold to age up. Blue is pretty far away from aging up. Both players have 2 town centers. Magenta does have a slight villager lead. Quite a bit more than slight.
Vado. Si. Attention. Come mondes. Okay.
Does get some sporadic damage there onto these Royal Knights.
Okay.
القوم جاهز.
Chevalier.
Got a good number of villagers on the front line as well. You may want to play out another mill. They're going pretty far to collect the fishes. Doing a good job of cleaning them all up. And now we do have the survival techniques being researched as well. Blue's scout there does spot this force. He really does need to pull out another mill up here. Mill right here can provide some great drop-off points. He's taking time to clean up the boar as well.
اتبعوا الأوامر. تحرك برجال.
Magenta does fall back there.
Ordine tenants. Second mandement.
Blue has currently 77 military units field. Magenta has 50. The quality of the army is actually the same as well. Royal Knights are very high quality, but the Absent Dynasty players is going for mass archery. We've got 63 archers on the field. That is an absurd amount. Not a lot of spearmen. If Magenta is able to pick off those handful of spearmen, the Royal Knights can do some great work against those archers. Royal Institute not being pulled on the field. We got Pierce armor and Pierce damage research over here. No hack armor. Over here we've got each of the blacksmith research. Outpost deployed out right there, trying to finally go for another mill. That's going to cancel that outpost there. Needs to get these villagers inside these outposts now. They're starting to receive lots of fire. There's a lot of villagers in this region. Horseman does go down there. Scout goes down as well, but the outpost will find enough vision range there. Outpost needs some great damage on these forces. It's going to be hard for him to deal with these outposts in the moment. His archers getting some good general damage as well. Right now, both sides' archers are generally the same. Just getting some more archers there. Do not got Imperial Castle Age for the French. Castle Age is not even started up for the Absent Dynasty player and does take a bit extra time. You may want to cool off back there and be on defense for the time being. Magenta can go for his research, such as the Veteran Royal Knight and the Veteran Archer research, and some blacksmith techs. Once he gets those, you need to push forward. As well as get these villagers outside of the outposts. Couple of housing being deployed out here as well. There's a Veteran Royal Knight research. He did also go to the Royal Institute, which does give him access to landmarks, Imperial Age technologies for cheaper. Or is it quicker? Cheaper. And Royal Bloodlines and incredibly powerful research. Right now, Blue does have a larger military force in the field, mostly composed of these archers. They really stand to get out Castle as soon as you can, because it also provides them the composite bow research as well as access to the camel riders. Got the economic wing now going on up. Royal Knights are seeing a bit of fire there. Good spear brace there. Some of Magenta's horsemen are going down as well. He's actually hitting these lumber camps a little bit more than he would like. Let's get a spear brace there on some of these Royal Knights. With the sheer number of archers here, you can get, they're basically be porcupines in no matter of time. March forward, just get some damage there. It looks like most of the spearmen on the back there trying to avoid the archer fire. Magenta's now pulling back. So now the Veteran Archer research and Royal Bloodlines being researched as well. Once you get those technologies going, then you can really push forward. Economic gain will be completed relatively soon, but not But we'll be after some of this other research. The increased pierce armor is going to be very handy indeed
وقت المسير.
against these archers who are currently doing 6 damage. That could make it so these Royal Knights will take... Oh, they're currently taking 1 damage per arrow against these archers. Just so many of them. Horsemen now seem to fire there.
وأراكم. أنا ذاهب.
As the defender archer research, making this the damage output is now 8. Let's get a spirit brace there. A lot of spirit fire. But Magenda's archer's pushing forward, getting some good damage.
أنا ذاهب.
Blue has to hold out. He still has to get his improved research for the time being.
رامي السهام يتحرك.
Now I got the next age. He needs his research going. Royal Knight's not pushing forward. He's out of spearmen. Well, he does have some spear in the mix of everything. Royal Knight's starting to disintegrate to those spearmen. Royal Knight's falling back, trying to get some health regen. Nope, they're not falling back enough. Composite bow and veteran archer research now coming on up. We will need a bit more damage because right now these guys are up to 6 pierce armor. The veteran archer research will give him 2, which will of course get him up to 8 damage. So they'll do 2 damage each per arrow rather than just the 1.
مستعد لإطلاق السهم. تيجي. كابرافاليت.
Blue's force is starting to disintegrate. Composite bow will greatly increase the rate of fire as well. There's composite bow, greatly increase the rate of fire. More Royal Knights being pushed on forward as well. These villagers are starting to see some fire as well. A couple of them do go down. This can set the second town center. The primary town center is now being garrisoned up as well. The arrows on the town center is what, 6 damage, 7 damage. So they do still minimal damage versus the Royal Knights. But they will still do some decent damage versus these archers. Those archers started stepping away, but they're just being disintegrated. And Blue does back up the game now. That's Anagrade saying, thank you for watching and on to the next replay. Before I start with the next replay, I do need to use the restroom. Please give me 1 moment. I am back. Let's see if he has any replays. It's hidden, of course. Let's see. Let's see if he has any replays. 22. We can do this one. Keep that one in mind. 24. A little bit better. 20. I mean, same players as well. Here we go, 37. Did I do this one? Huh. I must have missed this one here. Was checking through his stuff. I did do this one. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the bottom right side is the Blue Roost. We have Valdemar 1902. Spawn on top left side is the Yellow French. We have Kill Jardy. Now let's go ahead and back out of castle mode and take all the French trade, not French, Roost trade bounties. You see, oh, looks like blue does, or yellow does push forward, cleaning up those forest puppers with his villagers. Got these villagers collecting up some sheep at home. Blue does find a good number of sheep here. Yellow is skirting around the flanks. We'll find this forest pupper there, and that's blue's side. So blue's gonna be a bit low in trade. Not trade, yeah, trade bounty, not trade value. And now these villagers are out of sheep. There's not enough sheep here. He needs to bring back some of these.
وزارتي ياسم.
He may want to push forward over here to get these villagers collecting some food. And now long distance collection, the hunting cabin here will buy some minuscule amount of gold. Overall, blue's not doing a good job of. Feels like blue's on a bit of back foot. Does get that bit of trade bounty there. Not sure who claims the most.
Слушаемся.
And yellow does claim that one as well. Blue scout is severely wounded. This trade or those deer have been claimed by yellow.
Что?
It does go ahead and drop off these sheep here. A little bit mismanagement by blue in the beginning part of the game. Yellow also has claimed up more trade bounties, down to 165. He's going to need to kill off boar in order to get up the tier 2 trade. We do not have the School Cavalry going up. We do not. Well, we do have the Krem going up as well. The Krem's being pulled over here in a position to help secure up this golden stone deposit. It was pretty much relying on the gold collection from the hunting cabin to get him up to his next age. We got both players now advanced to the next age. Rus versus French, feudal age. We got Royal Knights versus Early Knights. They're relatively equal. French Royal Knights is slightly better. They have bonus effects after charge. So likely we'll see a mix of army on both sides. I'm predicting Royal Knights versus Early Knights. And Spearmen and Archers for both sides, I'm guessing. Spearmen will be useful to engage each other's knights, but Archers will be used to engage the opposing Spearmen. We do have a stable, being multiple stables, a stable and a barracks employed. It was designed for a Spearman Archer, not Spearman a Knight. Of course, you can always bring in some militia to defend with. This Royal Knight is watching these forest puppers being claimed.
Obeyo.
Какови накази суть?
Got two Royal Knights out in the field. Yellow has two scouts as well. Now blue's eyeing for some early palisade walls there. He's trying to be a bit defensive. If we switch back out to out of caster mode, you see here he's only at 215, so he only has one level trade bounty.
Есть.
Позаратай готова есть.
А? Всадник готов.
Blue scout here is severely wounded. Could potentially go down this Royal Knights. He will spot the Royal Knights and does go down.
Радуйся.
It looks like we have, of course, the stable and some spearmen going out. He does not have the hardened. Oh no, he does have hardened spearmen.
Рад есть.
It's just that's a little bit. This he had it built by after getting before queuing up that spearman. All right.
Дело есть.
Collecting a bit of wood there. His wood deposit's up here. Both of yellow's wood deposit's a bit more safer along the flank, and that one's also pretty safe as well. While blue's a bit more forward and more spread out. The deer are all on the back line, so that could be a good spot for additional town centers and collection. Let's spot these Royal Knights here. Need to get those spearmen over there.
Ополчение есть.
Royal Knights charging forward. We may see a spear brace here. Nope, we don't see a spear brace there. The spear will go down, but we'll save these villagers. Trying to look at a bit of damage on these Royal Knights. Got a handful of defensive spearmen as well. looks like this scout will go down as well. Blue's down to one scout. These knights, early knights, will find some hits there onto these villagers. Very, very nice. Royal Knight does get a charge attack there. He does have some spearmen in this region as well. He's going for those villagers. Does take out a villager there. More Royal Knights charging forward. Gets a good charge attack there onto those knights. And now spearmen getting focused down by these Royal Knights. Those pack a wounded one there. He has to keep it back at home, so when Shiva gets research, he gets some great health regen. Right now, there are 8 Royal Knights on the field. These blue Royal Knights are going down. These are going to be massive losses for blue. We're going to need to get a lot more spearmen.
Наказом следую!
Now, Chevalier being researched as well.
Поскору! Радуйся! Готово есть!
Doesn't complete this palisade walls there. He's trying to get these villagers to at least get them ghost. He does get them ghost at least. Does cancel that. I hope that is still fully built there. Those walls will go up in time. This scout does go down, so now blue's out of scouts. Does a very large number of these Royal Knights here. Trying to push forward, trying to torch down some of these fortified palisade walls. There's a large number of villagers here. 12, that is a large number, so we can't exactly abandon this region. There's a good number of spearmen here. There's 8 spearmen. There's 7 Royal Knights in this region. He will destroy this wall. There's a single Royal Knight. We'll find more walls down there. This fortified palisade wall is now burnt down. He could actually delete it to charge forward if someone's not paying attention. It does fall back, and now it's going to be burnt down. Does find some of these villagers there. Quickly kill off one. This hunting cabin's not inside his own walls there. May want to go for another line of defensive walls. Nor is it close to these trees here to get a bit of gold generation. This one is providing a small amount of gold generation, 9 gold per minute. And now it's going to torch down this palisade wall there. Of course, that does reveal a regular wall. Spearmen now push way forward. The militia have expired. Died from dysentery. There's simply not enough spearmen to deal with these Royal Knights. There's a very large number of Royal Knights here. Doesn't have chivalry research. Probably could stand against chivalry.
Приуготовляйтесь! Сделаю!
Town center now going up for yellow. He's going for a second town center. Blue is not deployed at second town center just yet, nor does he have any stone for it. Getting some good attacks there on the spearmen, taking them out. These Royal early Knights do find engagement there, though does get one set of charges there, and only gets 1 villager in total. A lot of arrow fire into these early Knights. Let's take them, one of them out. There is a breach there he actually created. Now we got spearmen pushing forward. He will close a breach there with bodies. As we'll get that wall rebuilt. That Royal early Knight will go down. Let's try to go for a spear bracelet automatically. And we'll find a couple of these Royal Knights advancing forward and quick kills off one of them. Taking off these Royal Knights like that is very important. Right now, their value is quite similar, but of course, blue has a larger force on the field with the slightly less quality, or greatly less quality, spearmen versus Royal Knights. These early Knights are seeing quite a bit of damage there. Currently, he's killed 3 villagers. One has killed 2. Trying to go for that early Royal Knight. Does get that Royal Knight. Now these early knights need to fall out and get out of here. Spearmen going to take time to torch down this town center. It's could be possible. I want to see a lot of damage return. There's at least one early knight there, but I had like 3 health remaining. And these early knights will be focused down. These villagers now pushing forward, trying to get this town center repaired up. This royal knight or early knight does have full health. No longer has full health. Now these villagers are going to be repairing up the town center. Spearman will get some good damage there. Very nice. Spearman's trying to pursue, get some more damage there. Get some good damage there. Now the Spearman will hit these villagers. We'll get a couple of them down. These villager knights will find some hits there onto these villagers over here. Does get one more. These villagers can't get inside that town center. A good number of them will be going down. The town center is far from going down itself. Gale does have all this research, so it does get +1 damage from the town center arrows, getting up at 7, which is very important to deal with these knights, as well as protecting himself against these spearmen. He's supposed to falling back. There's some really outnumbered. Chivalry has been researched. Large number of these royal knights are wounded, so as long as it keeps them alive, the more health regen you get. Does lose a couple more there. Let's get a spear brace there as well. And these spearmen start advancing forward as well, or backwards. The French player has a bit too much wood at the moment. Maybe we're going to task some guys on source of resource other than wood. What food does he have? Okay, trying to plant those berries there, trying to get some more palisade walls, trying to secure up his back line.
На Казинове суть. Идти надо на помощь. Что есть трудного?
Do now have siege engineers going up for the roost player, which will allow him to pull out some battering rams. Yale does have 45 villagers, opponent has 49, so he's down by 3 at the moment. Bear's been cleaned on up, and that's his last food deposit inside his walls. He does have a bit more deer to clean up here, but he's going to be running out of food within his walls very soon. He may want to eye for some farms. Royal Knights charging forward, trying to deal with these Royal Knights. He does, of course, have 2 town centers. The Roost player is still only at the 1. Not cleaning out this other deer deposit, and it's almost out as well. This is his last food deposit inside his walls. He still has this berry deposit. Bit of archer fire onto these early knights as well. It's calling them out to engage his opponent's archers. It does get out one to remove one of those early knights. We've got some pierce armor being reached by the Roost player now. And now I've got Blue's batter rams push way forward, ready to engage this town center. These 2 batter rams pose a massive threat to Yellow, along with all the spearmen. There's a long spearmen in this region. The knights cannot advance, but the archers, of course, can get some damage there. Gets some bonus damage, does pick out one of the early knights. Or one of the Royal Knights there. These early knights are now overrunning these archers, and these spearmen are doing a good job warding away those Royal Knights. Got some more archers over here. Blue does go ahead and take out that town center. Doesn't lose any of these villagers. These villagers need to be tasked away. Don't want to lose them. But it looks like they're doing a good job pursuing those battering rams without receiving any retaliation. Most of the early knights have gone down. Let's take out one more archer before taking out that early knight. They may want to get those villagers back on home. Yellow does have a slight villager advantage. Of course, now they both have the same amount of town centers. Let's take out that battering ram. And these Royal Knights are perhaps advancing too far forward. These spearmen do turn around, get some good damage.
Врежь по свору, славе.
Trying to push this way forward.
Даваю.
Royal Knights do have the same torch damage as the Spearmen, so there's nothing fancy about them when it comes to destroying this infrastructure.
Ополчение есть. Заказы будут.
Collect more of that wood. Try and collect this berry deposit. The Rus player is running low on food. So is the French. The French, however, has 2,000 food stored up, so he can go for a time frame without food. They focus on gold. The French is now eyeing for siege engineers himself. He may want to get out some more wood collected on up, not only for farms, but also for battering rams. We got a good number of spearmen here. We got 42 spearmen here. Big wave of militia now advancing forward. Militia are classified light melee, so they will see bonus damage there from the archers. But they do bonus damage to cavalry like spearmen. Now these archers are starting to get overran by these spearmen and the militia. Royal Knights charging forward. Does use spear brace there. Started stepping away with the archers there. Does take out one of the Royal Knights. Having these archers take out the spear and be good. The militia will die from dysentery in 20 seconds. You may want to keep these, just have these Royal Knights run home as the archers is micing the archers. Militia will go down 7 seconds. Try to get a charge attack there. And now the militia have gone down. Royal Knights gain some good health regen there, applying trivially. Most of Yellow's archers have gone down. It also has a significant number of spearmen out on the field. This tower is now equipped with arrows, so it does have reduced range and a lot less damage. A spear brace there, doesn't get any of the Royal Knights. The horseman does go down, has a handful of archers now alive in this region. More of the Yellow's archers pushing forward. Some of them do get stabbed by the spearmen. Archers on in, get some charges. Does get some spear braces there. Some of the Royal Knights do go down. Archers now engaged in melee. Royal Knights also now in the mix as well. More militia being spawned on out, just 2. Royal Knights charging forward to hit these villagers. These villagers are finding that outpost completely full. Spearman now gets a good spear brace here, takes another Royal Knight. More of these Royal Knights are going down. And they are seeing quite a bit of attrition damage from all these town center and archer fire. You need to see some charge damage there. He's going to just run away with the spearmen. I think a good idea just to stand and fight. At this point in time, they were not getting additional work done. Blue's army now is down to 20 US. Yellow has 16, but of course mostly because of the higher quality Royal Knights. And now got the Royal Institute being pulled up by the French. The Rus has small reserve of resources, enough for castle wage for gold, but not enough in food. He's getting a good number of farms out in the field as well. You'll probably go with the high trade house. Right around here will probably be best to get as much gold income from this wood. These wood deposits have been hit quite a bit, maybe right around here. Drew's player is still pretty far away from Castle Age. Royal Institute's almost complete. Of course, he doesn't have a large amount of gold in reserve to get the advanced technologies.
Buon lavoro.
Oh, and now Yellow's trying to stop this boar from being claimed up. He's claimed about 20% of it. Wooden Fortress as soon is now set ablaze. Area's being cleaned up as well. Spearmen trying to respond to this area, but all these villagers will go down. Big loss for Rus player. He may save some. Got the Spearmen advancing forward. There's the veteran Royal Knight. Does lose one of the Royal Knights as well. Some of the blue spear villagers do go down. And now I'm trying to pursue these Royal Knights. Over here, these early knights advance on forward. He's nowhere near getting the next age. He maybe not even eyeing for the next age. We'll find some villagers there. Very nice. These early knights need to fall back. They're severely outqualified by the veteran royal knight. Next is where he gets royal bloodlines that are basically twice as good as a regular early knight. Archers can get some good damage there. They're currently veteran archers as well. They don't have that full pierce damage, but they can still do some decent damage for these versus these early knights. One more does go down there. Over here, do you have these early knights and horsemen advance forward? Finds another good hit there on Yellow's villagers. Takes another Yellow villager. Yellow does not have textiles research, so maybe a bit of an oversight there. Militia advancing forward. They have 10 seconds before they die from random heart attack. Royal Knights now engaging these early knights. Veteran Royal Knights, I should say. Archers getting some good damage there. Taking out these spearmen. Take some good damage there. Horsemen and Royal Knights push way forward. Archers are suiciding on in as well. He could pass forward back and get some battering rams out. But of course, these archers and Royal Knights will not let them get those deployed. More of these spearmen will go down, slowly whittling them away. Blue's just eyeing for more production. He's not saving much food for the next age. He does have a good amount of food collection rate, that's for sure. Looks like that boar has not been resumed being collected. Finds himself a lone spearman there. And now the rest of these Royal Knights are charging on forward, which will be able to take out these militia. Spearmen trying to charge forward as well, gain some damage onto these Royal Knights.
À votre commandement.
Fortified palisade walls going up. Militia have expired. And now he's going to pull out the high trade house here. That will probably get him about 100 gold per minute, maybe 120. Howdy. We do now have the barriers now being cleaned up over here. He does have slight wall palisade walls, line up palisade walls. There's also 2 gold deposits here. Perfect spot for a keep. You're welcome. So far I've been striking out lately and finding good replays. This one is a little bit more interesting, but right now, Orange player does have a good grasp of the game. They do have a good number of Royal Knights, good number of Archers. Greece player just has been very far behind getting the next age. Blue has been doing a good job killing off villagers. They have 24 versus 7. He does have a superior number of villagers as well. 75 versus 69. And Yellow has now put out another town center again. He still has not researched textiles, nor has Blue, so that's, I guess that's an equal footing. Wooden Fortress does get cancelled there. Villagers abandoning the gold mine. There's not enough spearmen to hold the line, and there is an opening there. Immediately starts getting out some more walls there when he has the opportunity. High trade house now pulled on the field. We got some horsemen here, as well as more spearmen. He is getting better than spearmen and veteran horsemen. Not the knight to upgrade the early knights to regular knights. There's the, nope, that's just pierce armor. Very useful versus all the French archers on the field. Enough wood being collected up there. The small free deposits. Small amount of villagers probably can collect that up, being unnoticed. Batter ram going on up. We do have these Royal Knights, veteran Royal Knights trying to find another engagement. Does have Royal Bloodlines, so they are now up to a staggering 310 health. His opponent can pull out Boros Fortitude to partially compensate against this. Spearmen do get a nice little pokes there through the wall. Archers now engaging on in. And this palisade wall will go down, or gate. Batter rams push right forward, gain some dents into the palisade gate. Archers putting some holes into those villagers. Then our spearmen being pulled on field. You have a small amount of militia. Horsemen getting caught up there, delete some of his own walls there, collapse on those archers. Spearman needs to push him forward, or horseman could just start iron hit those archers. Spearman could just be a move towards his opponent. Royal Knights are engaging, thanks to their improved amount of health. It's pretty hard to get through these veteran Royal Knights. The archers are doing some great work there. Horseman needs to be. There's a bit of opening there. Doesn't have a lot of horsemen remaining. Each player does have 34 units on the field versus opponent's 45. Some of them are the militia as well. The militia now is starting to disintegrate. Batter ram push move forward, trying to get some holes in these walls. Royal Knights trying to make their way forward. We've got some more housing being torched. Spearman does get some great damage there onto these Royal Knights. Got these spearmen and horsemen trying to advance them forward. The horsemen, of course, are going to be very good versus archers if they can get the close on in. Spearmen is charging forward. Royal Knights may be trying to charge on in as well. Does not get any spear breaks there. Slowly moved down by yellows. Archers stutter stepping away. Doesn't get, and the horsemen eat those charges there, and not the spearmen bracing. Spearmen trying to brace there. Got the archers trying to get some hits on in. Going for some mining camps here, trying to get out the stone deposit. Who's not falling on the back now. We have a warrior monk on field. Both players have claimed one relic so far. And blue is losing some housing there. This will put him top cap. He's got out some more housing. There's another house there that could go down. Ending cabin right now providing 24 gold per minute somehow. Let's get some damage there. Horseman trying to break on through. So are the spearmen. They're having trouble engaging. What he needs right now is a Mangonel. This area is very laney, perfect for a Mangonel to hit these archers. Spearman advancing forward, trying to get on in. Horseman now finally able to close on these archers, getting some damage. Got some various archers being reinforced and being fed into their death. Some arbaletiers being pulled on the field. Stone is now being collected on up there. Going for an outpost. Spring Guard replacement. And some of these archers are being exposed. Let's get these villagers inside the outpost there, but some of them being caught up there. Spearmen gain some spear brace there, but the spearmen are not hitting us Royal Knights enough. Royal Knights are falling back. Archers engaging these spearmen now. Horsemen trying to do what they can. Horsemen getting tied up in the outposts there. Spring Golem placement now complete. Royal Knights starting to disintegrate there by the spearmen, but the spearmen not doing much well either. Blue's on a fallen back, trying to get some more forces. Blue really should eye getting out a single Mangonel could be very useful. Protected by a bunch of spearmen, I would say. He's having trouble hitting those archers. This is the biggest problem right now. He's having trouble dealing with the archers. Once he gets over the archers, and he get the Royal Knights there with the spearmen. And that's why I believe a Mangonel or two could be great. Either Royal Knights have to engage the spearmen a bit more favorably, or they just have to be forced to fall back. We do now have some veterans being pulled on the field. We do now have the Gambesons being pulled on the field, giving Arbiters +5 melee armor, which will make them very resilient to even spearmen. Right now, they have 2 hack armor. With this, they'll get 7 hack armor. Let's just say +1 from the blacksmith as well. That'll make these spearmen fighting against 8 armor, making so they do 3 damage per stab against Arbiters. That's nothing. Yep, he is running a little bit low in gold. Can utilize the high trade house, though his composition's been very gold non-intensive. Using horsemen, spearmen, now getting some archers out. He doesn't really need this gold at the moment. He actually is running out of wood. He's actually going to run out of wood before it runs out of gold, probably. Battering not pushed forward. This is the primary town center. His only town center. Now the battery's trying to get damage onto it. The horsemen do bonus aim versus these battering rams. Trying to torch down some of these farms as well. He is getting some crossbows could be useful. Does wave of militia now. They're starting to engage the Royal Knights. Royal Knights do get charge attack there. Horsemen now trying to hit these archers, but having trouble with his own infrastructure. Closing on in, Spearman charging forward as well. Getting some damage on in. Patterns we see getting some damage there on the town center. He's able to get some great damage on the Royal Knights. The more he knocks out, the better. Royal Knights have been mostly knocked out. The military force is similar size, but Yellow's force is highly superior quality. Damage is now complete, giving the Arbiters some melee armor. So they will take minimal damage from these spearmen as well. Let's take out the battering ram there with the villagers. Horsemen charging forward. More blue archers being put on the field. Disable get some more damage at range. Spearmen getting some great damage there on these Royal Knights. The Royal Knights are very, very wounded. But now they escape on through. The spearmen getting disintegrated there. Trying to hit these Royal Knights there. Trying to hit these villagers. But these Royal Knights don't have a lot of health to work with. Of course, Royal Knights can get some great damage to these villagers. It does have textiles research at the moment. Trying to pursue those Royal Knights. The Horsemen. Dale's not going for 4 to keep there. Unlikely forward production. Eyeing for some battering rams here to push on forward. Horsemen's now still trying to pursue these Royal Knights. They're getting some great health regen there. Royal Knights, of course, do some great damage from these horsemen, but these Royal Knights, of course, are very wounded. Militia getting some damage on in. So he's going back up to a corner. And trying to go some of the palisade walls there. Unsuccessful. Now they're sort of blocking up his own movement. There's another town center here. Yellow has a pure number of villages at the moment. And which I'm sort of surprised. He has multiple town centers deployed out for a bit of time. I suppose Yellow had his additional second town center deployed out longer. Ooh, those Royal Knights, oh so wounded, fall back home. So let's surely heal them up. Adam's not pushing forward. He has no defense in this region. Horsemen do bonus damage versus both the archers and versus the battering rams. Royal Knights being pulled out over here, getting some health regen with Chivalry. Now these horsemen are receiving a bit of fire there. That's have their +2 pierce armor to withstand the archer fire as best they can, but still not great. What remaining of the militia has been put on the field. These Groundhog is still advancing over here. Villagers have been tasked outside the town center. Spearmen now trying to hit these archers. While remember, it's crossbows being typed those battering rams, but not like they're trying to hit anything over here that will do bonus damage. These Royal Knights now advancing over here. Probably. The keep is in a little bit of a bush there. Not sure how well he can see it. Archers advancing forward, trying to get some damage over here. Spearmen trying to pursue. Takes out some of those Royal Knights there. These Royal Knights slowly being picked apart. There's not very wounded ones. I think this is where the more wounded ones were at. Looking off a good number of these villagers. Yep. Those are the villagers, those are the military. And Blue does back of the game now. This is Adam Grade saying, thank you for watching, and on next replay. Yep, I think what he should have tried getting out was a Mangonel to help hit those archers. He had plenty good work with the spearmen, but his opponent was very good at countering those spearmen with his archers. Let's see, I think there was some other replays I can cast over here. Let's see, let's just start from the bottom. We can do this one. 22 minutes. 13's a little bit short. 20 minutes. Try to go at least 20 minutes, but also... Wait, I think nope, I did this one yesterday. Sorry. Not this one today, I did that one yesterday. So let's just go and do this one here. He got acted to death in the early fights, yep. He lost too many of his early knights as well, and when his opponent went to next age, it took him a long time to get to Castle Age when his opponent was on Castle Age for quite some time. And veteran royal knights with royal bloodlines is very hard to deal with. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another HBars 4 replay. Spawn on bottom left side as the yellow English, we have Kiljardy. Spawn on top right side as the magenta French, we have Matisse. Let's see now, English versus French, time-old enemies. The French, of course, can pull out early knights, or not early knights, royal knights, which of course a very good heavy cab in feudal age, while his opponent can pull out vanguard man-at-arms, early man-at-arms, and longbowmen. Against royal knights, the man-at-arms will not be that great, so likely a good composition of spearmen, longbowmen would be good. Longbowmen do hit quite hard as well, allowing even your longbowman to get some good damage there onto the royal knights. We do have now the vanguard man-at-arms deployed on the field, hacking apart some of this. The French player does not have enough gold here to go to the next age. He should have stuck around a little bit more, trying to collect up some gold. But now he is actually age locked. His opponent put some parental controls on him, preventing him to go to the next age. And now we've got the outpost trying to be put on the field. It's getting very messy. This is one of the most successful vanguard man-at-arms I've ever seen. Slowly trying to engage this outpost. The vanguard man-at-arms still has all 3 pierce armor. And does get it built there. The radius is good enough to protect the gold deposit. And now the vanguard man-at-arms is moving around. Got more vanguard man-at-arms. And now we do have the council hall blow it on the field. I'll say most of the time, the vanguard man-at-arms are not really useful. But this is probably the best usage I've ever seen vanguard man-at-arms. I actually denied the gold deposit early on.
Escolto.
Council hall being put on the field. We do also have the Chamber of Commerce as well, eyeing for some free traders. Does play on the far side of his town there. Since they are free, don't have to maximize their trade profits immediately. Get a small bit of trade going on. They can maximize it later on. And it'd probably be better to pull out the trade markets over here than rather up here, because you get trade value based on distance of the 2 locations, not distance traveled, and this wood deposit will be in the way. So going right here, be more of a straighter path and a little bit longer to get a little extra trade. Vanguard, or early man-at-arms, now push way forward. He's eyeing heavy man-at-arms apparently. I wonder, did he see the Chamber of Commerce going up? Let's see if he did. He has not seen the Chamber of Commerce, so it's a safe assumption that your opponent goes for School of Cavalry, which is not the case. So he's probably going to pull out a large number of spearmen by now, or is pulling a large number of spearmen, while his opponent is just going for no military units at the moment. We got Eco-French going for extra town center as well. English players tend to, in my opinion, normally go for 1 town center. It's not common. And Yvonne, the King's Palace, goes for 2nd town center. So you could take the opportunity to be aggressive. And he's got siege engineers once he realizes there's another town center. But he still will not see the Chamber of Commerce. In fact, since he's being aggressive on this side, rather than this side, there's less likelihood he will see those traders. Though the scout is somewhat in the region, just not in vision range. So this could be quite interesting. He has not deployed out any free traders just yet. Is not got any economic techs at the moment. You don't have to go for economic techs immediately. The value you get, like I mentioned beforehand, is a little bit weak. This will probably net him about 15 gold per trade. Let's take out one of the villagers there. And this town center will be deployed up. Not enough room for all of these villagers. The rest ones can start collecting little forest puppers. And one of the spearmen do go down. And the man-at-arms will stay away. English has gone for wheelbarrow. The French have gone for nothing at the moment. And Scout does push forward. I don't think he saw the commerce center either.
Wait.
He still has not seen it, even though the Scout is in this region. But he still has not seen anything that would indicate his opponent has gone for the Chamber of Commerce. But his opponent has not quite on Economitex. He's balking some sheep there. His opponent has gone for full mill. English farms are cheap and strong. Really strong. So he will be out-ecoing his opponent. And no, his opponent does have additional town center for more villagers.
Bon labour.
It'll take a bit of time for the French villagers to be extra villagers to pay dividend, because of course it does cost food to invest into them. While this mill, it's providing a massive amount of farming benefits as well. He also got his horticultural research, so now his farmers are what? Are 35% faster harvesting than his opponent's current farmers. So he is collecting up the deer, which will equal out by the about 10%. We got a good number of archer range in the field. It's going from mass archers. He does have a single royal knight here. There's a couple spearmen here. And now he will likely see the Chamber of Commerce. He now just spots the Chamber of Commerce. I wonder if he realized he actually spotted it as well. Trying to hit this wood line. Of course, these villagers can fall back into the town center. It's been garrisoned up with some military units, I believe. Or I'm not sure what. I saw ×4 there. Just the people collecting the forest puppers. Longbows see a bit of fire there. And still, not a single economic tech has been researched, so he's been making no use of the Chamber of Commerce. You can even go for the dirt cheap forestry research in order to get free trader at least, but not even that, which in this case I suppose is a good thing, since they'll be dead.
Nu gelast. Bereth Wigan. Ikwilla.
We do have some more Royal Knights put on the field. He has still very minimal force on the field. The English farms are providing a massive reserve of resources. He has no gold income at the moment. He needs more gold. His opponent's going to the King's Palace. There's just going to be his quote-unquote second town center. Yeah, this is why I say the English farms may need to be toned down a little bit. He has less village at the moment, but look at his econ coming on in. It is greater than his opponent when he's down about 25% less villagers. Those English farms should not receive a wood discount. They're dirt cheap at 37 wood. This is one reason why English is so strong in all levels of play. You get cheap farms, you get cheap, powerful archer unit that doesn't cost gold. In POH, you get your farms for a good rate of generation of gold. POH mana arms, some of the hardest things to deal with. And not to mention later on, the passive gold generation of the farms make it so you continue to produce some mana arms, which they will have additional armor. The English are a relatively easy civilization to play, and they have a lot of benefits.
And Celia builded thing.
The French player is now eyeing to quickly collect up enough gold to go to the next age. He may be eyeing for the guild hall, potentially. I don't know why, I just have got the feeling he's going for the guild hall since he's not deploying any sort of military units in the field. He's not going to make use of the Royal Institute's unique technology or quicker technologies. Spearman, man at arms. They find the scout there. Yellow has pulled back, unable to engage his opponent with all the town centers there. Now we do have the guild hall going up, so my prediction was correct. It can be incredibly powerful to go to the guild hall, make it collect up stone. Because you can get a massive amount of stone from the guild hall. Find out the Red Palace. with the arbalist emplacement, it can be really hard to crack a French defensive line. The French can play a defensive game even with the Guildhall and the Red Palace, even better. They can play a better defensive game than even the Holy Roman Empire. We do know how these spearmen advancing forward. Let's get some good hit on Royal Knight. Arbaletiers is going to be very useful to engage these men-at-arms, even with the extra armor. Royal Knight charging forward, trying to hit this longbow. Let's get a kill there, very nice, but will fall back, and he probably not worth in the end, because that's 240, killing off something that's worth 90. Though he does manage to escape out of there, so Chivalry can top him off in health, going for a Monastery. Yellow's not captured up a relic, does have some Monastery on field. And I do got a line of economic text coming out for the French. The Guildhall, what is he collecting up first? He's getting up food. That's what it is set by default. So he could retest something else. Maybe he is eyeing for food. Maybe eyeing for Fast Imperial. Monk picked up the relic. Yellow's picked up the second relic over here. I just want to just fast forward a little bit. Both sides are sort of just echoing. We got these guys on patrol move or just being rallied over here. I don't know why. It just seems like they're on a patrol move, but looks like they're providing escort from Monk. There's a scout there. We got a handful of free traders now being pulled on the field. Scout receiving some fire. We do got a number of man-at-arms here, as well as some Arbaletiers. Man-at-arms will be useful against these spearmen. They, of course, will be inferior to the English man-at-arms when they get fully upgraded. Arbaletiers, however, gain some good damage on in. Yellow does pull out some of his own crossbows. He may have been expecting Royal Knights, but instead he's finding man-at-arms, but still, crossbows will be useful against them. And we do got passives being pulled out there, and does get canceled there. Does spot the Monk. He could try charging forward and use the Ritual. Ritual does use the Ritual in the back line. Unsuccessful. And Yellow's have two relics picked up his hand. This is the last one there. So Yellow may be able to pick up every single relic on the map. These knights, not knights, man-at-arms, we're seeing quite a bit of damage there. Slowly being built down. I think he just used passive there. Nope. Or maybe one does use passive. But something about glowing as well. Do they share benefit from other nearby passives? Does only one of them have to deploy out passive? Because I saw a bunch of them glowing yellow, you know, one of them deploy out passive. If that's the case, that could be very interesting. If somebody can be very good in micro, if one passive actually provides an aura effect, that could potentially give a great with a micro, so you can send like ask a couple of them to play out passive to buff the group, and they advance forward to find another one to play a passive. I assume that works like that. Royal Knight engaging, does have 11 health, and the exotic doggo goes down as well. Royal Knight does have 9 health remaining. Magenta's eyeing for some palisade walls here, trying to secure up the sacred site. Does stop this monk as well. And Yellow has another dropped relic somewhere. This one, I'm trying to find the mini-map, the other one. I'm not sure where the other relic is at. As I don't say he has one picked up in his hand, so it's dropped somewhere. Somewhere over here. Magenta's picked up this relic now. These are pink Magenta's walls as well. Yellow's not advanced forward with a good mixed force of longbowmen, crossbow, and man-at-arms. Does have armor-clad research, doesn't have any blacksmith research other than pierce damage, level 1. Trader may get hit as well, does pull out some palisade walls. This trader will likely go down. Guildhall still being tasked to collect food. Does pull out some passives here, which will give them +5 pierce armor. So right now that's 7 pierce armor. The longbow has 9 damage, so that longbow will do 2 damage each. Additionally, gives them +1 range. So they right now have 6 range, but the longbow does have 7 inherent range, so it's able to outrange them. Does take out some of these traders there. Magenda's force now advancing up, gains good hits there. Arbaletiers, archers, and men-at-arms. Doing the men-at-arms and crossbows and longbows. These villagers now banding up here, but there's already a force up there. It's a gauntlet of fire they're going through. This force will be cornered, but this force, these villagers will continuously being hit. Magenda's losing a large number of workers. Yellow's killed 22, Magenda's only killed 2. Pass is not being pulled on the field. It has a very quick deployment time, unlike Palings. So now they're +1 range. They're able to get some great hits. Much longer hits there, as well as some great armor. Somebody's actually using passive successfully. Magenta has claimed a free relic, so that other relic location is now found. It's right there. Magenda's also has some horsemen to engage those longbows and crossbows. Now these man-arms going to rip apart these horsemen, no problem. Monk does go down, horsemen push way forward, trying to get some good damage onto these archers or longbows. Man-arms, let's go down. These longbow will be going down. There's still a couple man-arms up here. These man-arms are still pushing way forward. No hack armor, additional hack armor being researched. Horsemen now see a bit of fire there. These long crossbows or arbaletiers making their way forward. Not really firing though. Six Sight's been captured by Yellow. There's an outpost here as well. And some of these traders are starting to go down as well. Magenta probably could have gone from walls earlier on to deal with those, to save those traders. Magenta does also have a good amount of stone collected up. He may be eyeing for a keep somewhere. Up here wouldn't be half bad. These villagers are no longer collecting up any of the deer. Another trader does go down. Yellow now has more villagers than his opponent. Now going for a big line of farms there. It was not this group of 8 either. Wolf now getting some fights there. Longbowman does go down. So does the Exotic Doggo.
What will thou?
I got the deer over here. Man-at-arms push way over here. Got the single man-arms. Still being a bit of a problem there. These villagers are going to shank the man-arms. It does have 6 pierce armor or hack armor. The villagers do have 8 attacks, so they do 2 damage per slice. Don't really try to shank him. Siege Workshop going up. Maybe a Mangonel or a 5 wouldn't be half bad. And this, ooh, that village is wounded. Does pull back all of them. This man-arm will quickly go on down, so will the horsemen. These villagers going to be retasked this gold deposit up here. He may need to eye a bit more food. How's the... He has 2,000 food there. He's very low on food. Withdrawal. Now's the time to probably withdraw the food from the guild hall. It's people, I think, tend to get a bit too greedy with the guild hall. They want to get maximum benefit, but then they get no withdrawal whatsoever, and so it goes to waste. This is the perfect time to get all of that food, since he does need the food severely badly. He has a lot of wood. He perhaps could buy a whole bunch of archers, or horsemen, or something. He needs a bit of gold deposit as well, so collecting this gold is going to be very important. He did lose all those traders. These palisade walls, there is a breach right there. Got a good force here. Mangonel on the field, which will be very handy, but could be overrun by the man-at-arms. Doesn't have enough front line there. Gets a small hit there on the crossbows. Now the man-at-arms going to be overrunning the Mangonel. Nice small hit there on the longbow. Does lose the Mangonel. Just simply did not have enough front line. Or really any front line. Arbaletiers do have the Gambersons researched. And Magenta does back out the game as well. Just simply couldn't secure the trade line. It's Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see now. Let's see if I can't find another replay. If I have to go to a different person. Let's see. Let's try this person here. The right person? Seems like the right level. Yep. Got some replays here. 13 minutes, a little bit too short. 20 minutes, could do that, a little bit short. 17's too short. 16, 17, 22. Can do both of those. 20, 29. That's probably gonna be a good one. 26, better, or worse than 29, but better than the other ones. Let's do this one. Probably can do that 26-minute one afterwards and maybe hit another 20-minute. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the top right side is the Red English, we have Cop. Spawn on the bottom left side is the Cyan Malians, we have for this one. Let's see now, English versus Malians. English, they of course have access to the early man-at-arms and the Vanguard man-at-arms, which are both powerful assets, especially the Vanguard or the early man-at-arms. A lot of factions have trouble with feudal age man-at-arms. But then again, the Mosfadi Warrior, is that a feudal age or castle age unit? I forget exactly. So the Malians may have a good counter to that. English, of course, have access to the longbow, a fan favorite, powerful all-range unit. Malians, they do have a lot of other units. Of course, got the veteran Donzo, or not just veteran, the Donzo, which is an effective spearman, but the longbowmen should be able to quickly deal with them. Javelin throwers could be a good counter to the longbowmen. Longbowmen do have a range of 7, but javelin throwers do have a longer range than regular archers of 6. So that could be a good counter unit. They also do have 3 inherent pierced armor. And there's also the Warrior Scout, which does not get any bonus versus range when it gets, nor does it have inherent pierced armor. So Warrior Scout may not be a good item in this matchup unless you're trying to hit the villagers only. Sofas, a heavy cav, could be reasonable. They do bonus versus infantry, so that'd be good versus the archers as well as men-at-arms. May still want to avoid spearmen, but they do have 2/2 armor inherently. And we got the Abbey of Kings being plotted field. Okay, that's going to be a little bit different. No Council Hall, Manticore, pretty standard. Mining pit right there, collected some good amount of gold. And with the Manticore there, it does have some decent gold generation. When it comes to economic benefits, of course, we've got the mining pit here, provide a good passive amount of gold generation. Manticore as a landmark provides some additional gold generation. While red has, of course, eventually they can get more powerful farms there, which will quickly exceed cows in no time, as well as one of the most powerful economic benefits in the entire game, only be passed by, I would say, the Abbasid Dynasty plus 50% collection for all resources. And the English player is eyeing for on the second town center very quickly with all that stone being collected on up. We now have the Warrior Scout research, as well as Professional Scout. Looks like he's going to eye to start hunting down some deer on the field. Yeah, it is Professional Scouts. I personally find this research far too expensive for most factions. Even for the Malians, you do, of course, get a more powerful scout to deploy out for this usage, but still, I just really wish that Professional Scouts was actually like cheaper. It shouldn't be more than 75 gold, in my opinion. Not 275 gold. Because most factions will not get it. Most common faction to get it is probably Delhi Sultanate, because they can just get it for free, because everything else is research. We do have the first king being put on the field. And his scout girlfriend will be pushing on way forward. Warrior Scout falling on back. As I mentioned beforehand, the Warrior Scout does not get any bonus versus range. But as one going for the Abbey Kings, like suggest he's not going for a long bowman anytime soon. Warrior Scouts, multiple Warrior Scouts are being put on the field. 8, soon to be 9. Collecting up all these forest puffers, bring them back on home. Very good micro of all these Warrior Scouts. Of course, these are all dead. Good country steal them. Charge forward the Warrior Scouts to go past the town center. Got triple town center already as well. Both sides eyeing for mass eco play. No additional towns deployed up by the Malians just yet. Rely on the 3 gold generation from these mining pits. Right now that's just providing 70. This one's providing 102. They, of course, got the Monster Quarry as well. Takes out Red's scout there as well. Going for a fresh scout to go along with the king. And also got the Malian player not eyeing for the cattle ranch. So both sides are going for mass eco play. He also could take time to collect up his deer deposit here to bring them back home, so he doesn't have to worry about venturing on the map too much. He could actually eye for some trade as well. Toll outposts are pretty good, though without the Saharan trade network is a little bit weaker, but still good nonetheless. That's going to be collecting that deer deposit here. Does have a gate there, but look at this. Look at the trees pattern. This is an entire intraversable area. Only this little area is there. So this actually is a good spot for trade. If he leaves these trees mostly untouched, this is a very protectable spot there. Like, worth deploying a small amount of stone walls there, maybe a stone gate to go along with it. And then you got a very protected trade starting point. The end point, however, a little bit more exposed. A lot of trees you can patch up with walls. So it is possible he can go for some trade. Though trade at this point in time is expensive. English player has gotten out 3 town centers. He's probably going to go for the White Tower in order to secure up these gold deposits. White Tower right here will probably be pretty good to help secure up the gold and the stone. Got the Grand... How do I pronounce this? Fulani Corral to plot on the field to improve the food generation from these cows. So we've got Fast Castle for the Malians. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit since both players are just eyeing for eco phase. The Scout and King are finally pushing way forward. Would be really hit by these Warrior Scouts. Do now have the Veteran Warrior Scout research. I always forget. Does the Veteran Warrior Scout does get bonus versus range? I know that for sure, but does it get any Pierce armor to go along with it? White Tower being plotted field. Where is it going out? And an incredibly defensive position that I totally miscalled. I guess he can't really push out on the field. He has no military force to escort villagers out of the field to deploy out aggressively. So he's going to be a bit more defensive with it. Which there's 2 town centers and the White Tower. That can keep a good amount of farms here nice and secured. He can also take time to keep the deer, the forest puppers. Veteran Warrior Scout. No, they still don't get any additional Pierce armor. They do get the bonus for range, but no additional Pierce armor. So Longbow and any sort of archer still a soft counter towards them. Another mining pit on field, getting some more gold generation. Very nice. I'm going to fast forward a little bit more. The King and the Scout push way forward. Got these villagers eyeing for a toll outpost there. He may be eyeing for a 4 gold collection there. Warrior Scouts going to be overrunning the King. Of course, the King does have 3 Pierce armor or hack armor at the moment. Veteran Warrior Scouts pushing forward. There are 15 villagers here. The town center can only hold 10. So half these guys will be drawing the short straw. But will be saved. Warrior Scouts do, of course, have a good amount of health regen, so they can recover quickly. Look at that health regen. It's absurd. Can't deploy out some more housing. The sacred site is in the way. Cyan could have gone for some EMs or grabbed relics earlier on, but he has not. That could help him with some additional free resource generation. Now got some more sofas being floated on the field. Pierce has the imported armor as well, so they have 5/5 armor. No blacksmith research at the moment, going for some economic techs. The food technologies do improve the base, the collection rate of the cattle ranches and the cows within them. Well, it does not affect the plus 20 food per minute for them, but still that's a good benefit nonetheless. If you're wondering about the tick down here, that is a food collection of the cattle ranch of itself and the cows within. Does not factor in the nearby 20 food per minute. Veteran warrior scouts go take out the scout, no problem. The king now is running for his life. They have a regicide going on. And he sees all these cavalry. Good idea to go for spearmen. He can go for some crossbows as well. They do bonus damage versus the veteran Sofa since they are heavy cav. Not so much versus the warrior scouts, but they have no real pierce armor, so they can take some big hits. The king's now healing himself. Now the king's will be backed up into a corner. There's some palisade walls here. Neither side has picked up any relics at the moment. Red can't really pick up relics. Got another keep here. He's going ultra defensive, isn't he? And the king will now be killed off. More crossbowmen. He needs more spears. He needs spearmen upgraded to veteran. This is going a bit overkill on defense, probably. Signs even taking time to claim up the stone deposit on his side of the map. Very nice. Got this stone deposit being claimed up as well. I realized something as well. There's large, small, large, small. Got large here. Small, small, large. I think the English players spawned more stone on the side of the map. Because there's only one central stone deposit here, so I think the English player actually got lucky with more stone deposits, larger ones deposits on his side of the map. But there are two small ones on this side to be claimed. We have some now veteran archers on field. The Sofas and warrior scouts do push on forward. Does pull out some palisade walls there. Does have a bit of berries can claim on up. And now the Berkshire Castle's now pulling a field. We got 2 landmark keeps and 1 river keep. Why is there so many? Is he going for a wonder victory? Is he eyeing for a wonder victory? Put it like right here? It's going to need 6,000 stone for that. I'm not sure what the English player is doing. He's going for ultra defense, that's for sure. You do have, of course, the enclosures being researched. One of the best economic technical in the game. One of the best economic benefits of the mills. We have now the veteran spearman research. It's going to need the elite spearman research as well. As the airs are gauging on in, they're currently only 6 damage since he doesn't. This one's about 6 damage. Shouldn't they be 7? So he has the. Oh, no, I'm looking the wrong side. Yep. No pierce damage research. We might even have a blacksmith research. Oil and oil being researched now. Spearman gets some big damage there. Crossbows getting engaging as well. He does have a very good number of villagers, that's for sure. He has 3 talents in his opponent, still has the 1. Of course, he does have a good amount of free resource generation, but he's severely outnumbered military, but he has a good defensive line. He can lose his town center with these villagers. You don't want to lose these villagers, not unnecessarily. Spearman needs more spearmen, charging forward. Got poison arrows, pierce damage, everything, more research. Not giving the next age just yet. Has a bit of resources for it though. He could perhaps deploy out some stone walls, protect his flanks if he's going to be this defensive. This stone deposit has been almost halfway claimed. Another mill going up. He's eyeing for more farms. We got a good mix of warrior, scout, and sofas here, so it's hard for the crossbows to get damage on the sofas. Looks like some of these villagers there. Spearman gains some good damage on in. But the Spearman can get easily overwhelmed. His opponent's lacking in some military production. Let's get a spear brace there. He can lose some villagers, but you don't want to do that too much. With the amount of defenses he has, he really should eye getting out even pierce damage. With pierce damage research, his defenses will be even more effective. Let's get a spear brace there. So engage the sofas now. Crossbows getting some good hits as well. This force is slowly being whittled down. Townsend is not garrisoned at the moment. Let's get some good spear braces there. Though right now he's really close to everything. Sofas do bonus damage versus infantry. And this force does get disintegrated by all those spearmen. He's now getting some forward production here. Of this amount of defensive line. Looks like he has all the cows in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So not all the cows are inside there. He's collecting up some of these cows as resources. So no, that's still cooking the deer carcasses. And still some sheep here. Berkshire Castle not getting some damage on the keep. Probably a good idea not to charge forward. Keeps do have 5 flame armor. It'd be probably a good idea just if you want to get damage on there, you could garrison the Berkshire Castle, get it some 20 extra arrows. He does have network of citadels, and going for a cannon placement, and maybe go for a spring gold as well. He does get the keep garrisoned up, so it's now firing a lot of arrows against the keep, slowly whittling it down. He deletes his town center there. Get out more mills. Not every day you see someone delete the town center. Try not to expand out this way. I still believe he should eye for a bit of stone walls at the current rate. Sign's going for more production. Got a big line of battering rams, which horse may be a good item. Though honestly, man-at-arms would be decent as well. Sofas are durable, but man-at-arms horse can be some good damage. Spearmen wouldn't be half bad, but against all these archers, so probably man-at-arms would generally be the best. Does spot these battering rams push way forward, and it will rapidly decrease the health of the amount of arrows firing from this thing. Start hitting the monster, or no, that's the university. Doesn't have any research from it. University will go down. Of course, it has this other keep there. There's a lot of defensive options here. Advancing forward, Spearman with some man-at-arms here. He's still severely outnumbered, but he still has a great economy. Let's advance forward. Let's have all these defensive placement here. These sofas cannot last long with all this nearby defensive placement. Also get another man-at-arms here. Crossbows engaged as well. He doesn't get any elite units just yet. He's a bit low in gold. Before, getting some good damage to the infrastructure. There's a large number of battering rams here. Red's back lines or in front lines starting to disintegrate. Most of the sofas have gone down, so a good number of archers here. Man-at-arms still a good item in that situation. He has a bit of gold and food to work with. Goes a bit low in gold. He has no gold deposit left at home, so all the gold he has at the moment is purely meant for, as from those enclosures. Berkshire Castle now seems to be fired. Casting a handful of villagers there to repair it up is probably a good idea. Of course, it only costs wood to repair that up. Got the White Tower also firing this way. Doesn't have any upgrades itself. More battering rams here. The Berkshire Castle doing some damage on these forces. Crossbows engaging. Poison arrows are starting to connect. More battering rams pushing it forward as well. Just so many battering rams. He's trying to blow out anything he gets, but he just lost too much of the infrastructure. He's having trouble remaxing. Berkshire Castle will go down. He does have boiling oil there. Boiling oil does do siege damage, so it does do full damage versus these battering rams, but the rate of fire is very slow. Keep will go down. Villagers are pushing forward. He does have plenty of villagers to prepare his opponent, so you can afford to lose all of them right there. Now these villagers keep finding what's using to clean up all these battering rams. He's losing some housing as well, which will reduce his max population cap. He will be at top cap now. Man-at-arms pushing forward, and still needs some trebuchets here. His gold collection is still dismal. His wood collection rate is still not great either. He does have these palisade walls here. I think the stone as well. You can use wood to repair up the Berkshire Castle, which he has a couple villagers doing it now. There's some housing there to get out of the pop cap. These forces are being slowly being whittled down. The Malian player does lose his military. Remember, the Malian has a lot of resources stored up and not remaxing all too well. And some Musafati warrior, they're anti-heavy specialists. Longbows will be an excellent counter to them since they are light melee. Spring Gold firing away. Some defensive Spring Golds could be useful for another wave of battering rams. Which there are some more battering rams. As Goldfire, there's these villagers there. He does have he can lose these villagers. Get some good hits there as well. His blacksmith research is still quite poor. Doesn't even have any pierce damage at the moment. It's been useful in that previous engagement to improve his castles. More barons going down. Villagers perhaps being recast to the wood line. Needs more wood. Has some useful amount of gold with. Going for armor clad now. Getting them +2/+2 armor. Very good. Probably cheaper than going for blacksmith research. And quicker. This force starting falling back. These villagers push me forward. He may be trying to torch down the keep with villagers. Second landmark destroyed for red. I'm not sure what else got destroyed. Oh, the Berkshire Cat or the Abbey of Kings burnt down, I believe. I don't think that was actually destroyed. I think that may have been burnt down because I just saw that pop up. Try and torch down the keep there, but it does have this these villagers here repairing it up. He will lose a good number of villagers. They're being taxed on off. Mangonel does more than Mangonel fire, falling back now, going for his textiles research. Going for a keep here. Berkshire Castle still not completed. Just trying to get some other infrastructure. Where did he get? He still has all this food. I didn't realize he had that much food collected. He's been lacking wood and gold. He needs to sell off some of this food for gold. So thanks to enclosures, man-at-arms are pretty cheap in gold, so you can go for a massive number of man-at-arms. You can knock out the Bonko repairs. Buildings repaired 50% faster. It's actually repaired upgrades that don't see people too often. No relics claimed by either side. Sign could have really got these relics. And still in Castle Age as well. And now he's finally get his elite research. When he gets elite research, now his stuff will hit much harder and last much longer. He gets elite army tactics as well, that could be significant, and finally gets blacksmith research. He's been having he had a technological possibility advantage, just haven't been able to use it. Because when he's fighting against these Musafati warriors, he needs some longbows to go along with him. Or Mangonels. Musafati warriors, they are not very healthy, they're at 110 health. If I can find a spearman person. The elite spearman has 130 health, so they have I think they have the same health as the spearman line. So in other words, they're very vulnerable to Mangonels. And speaking of which, there's no weapon placement here. You can use Mangonels to siege down keeps. They do bonus damage versus buildings at a decent rate as well, which will be useful against his opponent's composition of archers and soon be Musafati warriors. Res now eyeing for a counterattack along the flanks. That can be very useful. Even getting hit in his wood line can be devastating to his opponent. His opponent does not have replaceable villagers, while English does. Berkshire Castle has been repaired on up. We're seeing some repairs as well. You could garrison the Berkshire Castle to get more arrows flying. Spring Gold trying to set on up. Get some hits there on these battering rams. Would be useful. Blue force advance forward. Let's have these forces now push way forward. We'll hit some of these villagers. More villagers push me forward. Try and get some more repairs. Berkshire Castle's primary arrows do 14 damage. Villagers trying to set forward. We can force down these banners quite quickly. Got some Mangonels here. Of course, the Mangonels do not outrange the Berkshire Castle, but they're able to get these hits on these forces here. Now with elite research, he's able to handle this much better. He has 9 hack armor to elite man-at-arms and get up to 10. With some hack damage as well, very good. He also has a good amount of wood in reserve. I still believe he should get out some longbows. Forces push me forward, man-at-arms as well. Archers receive a bit of hits there now from these elite man-at-arms. They do have poison arrows, but they do get a bit more effective versus the elite man-at-arms than they normally would. They have right now 9 attack, and so the 9 or 8 pierce armor of these elite man-at-arms, so they take 1 damage per arrow, but the additional 3 damage over 6 seconds will make it so their arrows do a lot more over time. That'll take a bit of time for him to kill off these man-at-arms. And those poison effects do stack up. But maybe not stack up fast enough. Man-at-arms do of course have 180 health, which is quite a bit. More man-at-arms push forward, and Zion backs out the game. This is Android saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. That game was messy. Very, very messy. I have time for one last replay for tonight. Let's see if there's any other replays we can gleam at. There's a 60-minute one, yeah, right here. Same players, but 60 minutes is or 26 minutes longer than the 20 minutes. So let's do it. Greetings everyone, and Great here. Another HBAR's 4 replays. One on the top left side as the Yellow English, we have Cop. One on the bottom right side as the Cyan Mongols, we have Corvinus 1. Let's see now, English versus Mongols. Let's talk about the Mongols first. They have 2 unique units in Feudal Age. You of course got the Keshiks and the Magadai. Keshiks are a good heavy cav unit option. Weaker but cheaper than the Royal Knights and Early Knights. And of course got the Magadai, a unit that is basically worthless throughout the entire game and only has a small usage and hitting trade line and villagers basically in Castle and Feudal Age, primarily in Feudal Age, because they need to be fully upgraded to be any sort of use. Of course, over on the English side, he has access to the Man-at-Arms, Vanguard Man-at-Arms, Early Man-at-Arms, and the Longbow. Longbows will be useful the entire game, and a mix of longbow spearmen is a pretty common composition, very effective versus Keshiks, and can be very hard to deal with. Man-at-Arms can also be very hard to deal with. It goes a mix of spearmen, man-at-arms. It's really hard for most people to deal with Feudal Age man-at-arms. Keshiks can be useful versus man-at-arms, but if there's a mix of spearmen, those Keshiks can be forced away, no problem. We got the Deerstone being plotted on the field. Both of the Mongol landmarks are not really that good. The Silver Tree is good, but it's also a big double-edged sword because then you have a very exposed trade line that covers the entire half of the map. And the Deerstone provides you Yam network early, but it's only really useful for a minor economic benefit, primarily for the wood line, and that's about it. When it comes to economic capabilities, the Mongols of course start out with no need to build housing, but some of their structures are a bit more expensive, especially compared to English. The gear costs 100 resources there, and it is not fun to pack this up and move around. It is a pain in the butt thing to use around, and that's why most people just pull out more gears rather than trying to take time to pack it up and move around, because it needs some big quality of life improvements to be useful. The pasture versus farms. The English farms do cost 37 wood. One pasture is not near Ovo can support the 3 villagers, which is significantly more expensive than the English farms, which can also be improved. Being a nearby mill could be better than to be one of those powerful economic upgrades in the entire game, as opposed to being near the Ovo, which can basically support 4 villagers rather than just 3. Well, this can improve your villager gathering rate in Feudal Age by 20%, so it makes it so your farms are even better than gear. So overall, the Mongols overall will have trouble versus the English farming benefits, but then again, most of us do have trouble comparison to that. While also, when it comes to town centers, the Mongol town centers do cost 900 wood rather than the 700 mix of all the factions' town centers. So you do pay more for your second town centers, which is why the Silver Tree is a bit more appealing, because it is a good alternative to the town center, albeit a bit risky and expensive, because traders are not cheap. That's why most people tend to go with the Silver Tree over the Deerstone, because Deerstone's minor economic benefits, while the Silver Tree has a good economic alternative, but is incredibly hard to keep secure since you have no access to palisade walls. Most of the Mongol game is uphill in general. They may think like, oh, the free no housing's great. Not really. If you take a look at here, the initial housing is what? Was it 20 or 10? I forget exactly. It is 10. So right now, the Mongol stays about on 3 housing, which is about 150 wood. Which is, and if the English player goes to another town center, that's basically saving on 5, or the Mongol wants to go for another town center, that's basically paying for 5 houses as well. As building a town center. It is expensive. And wood is one of those diminishing return items that takes a long time, that while your traverse speed, the slower your gathering rate as well. So it's easy to deploy out the stone-based town centers and the wood-based town center. Got these horsemen now advancing forward, a bit of aggression with these horsemen. He does have a good number of spearmen and longbowmen, and getting out some vanguard man-at-arms. He does not have the early man-at-arms research. He does have in the queue now. He does have a couple Keshiks here. Has a nice little mixed force. 10 archers will be used to engage his opponent's spearmen. If the spearmen go down, then his Keshiks and horsemen can overrun the longbowmen and the man-at-arms. Got 19 military units versus 16. You have the wood chopping research there, the forestry being researched. And no wheelbarrow being pulled out just yet.
Nu Yelast.
With the amount of villagers he has on wood, he may be eyeing for another town center. Keshiks do find a good charge attack there on the longbowman, but does not take him out. Mongol does see a bit of town center arrows there as well. Does throw the scouting eagle to get some good scouting in this region. This wood line's been abandoned. Now look at this wood line. And the palisade walls there, he's unable to really breach it. Does take out a forest pupper there, but he is going to eye for a outpost in this region, or somewhere. Wait a second. Is that wait a second. Is he trying to... He does not have improved forestry for the one chop cut, but he's trying to make a breach with his villagers. Okay, this is interesting. We got now the spearmen and men-arms pushing forward. Longbowmen in this mix as well. There's 10 longbowmen, 7 spearmen, 2 men-arms, and a scout. This force is being forced back. He's deploying this outpost inside the forest. What vision does he have through this area? That is a sign outpost going up there as well. I'm not sure what he's eyeing. What is he eyeing? This is just weird. Longbowmen do get some hits there. Does go for pierce damage to the Mongol player. The English player already has gone for pierce damage. So got some pierce armor being researched by the English player. And now got pierce armor over here. Going for some arrow slits on this one here. Does that outpost see that forest? I don't think it will see through that forest. Yeah, it doesn't see that. Doesn't actually see the palisade gate walls over there just yet. Got a bit of spear brace there, getting a good number of those horsemen killed off there and stunned. 3 horsemen goes down versus 3 spearmen charging forward. Horseman trying to find a hit there. Does get a good charge attack. Spearman engage. Mongol archers doing a good job engaging his opponent. The man-armed still poses a big threat. Might throw a falcon for line of sight for the arrow slit. Potential. But he'll soon find out there's nothing gathering up any resources there. It's weird. Shocked villas with towers. Yep. But still, his opponent already abandoned that wood line there. He saw that wood line was already abandoned with the previous scouting falcons. Going for this one here. Going for an outpost there. His opponent's going to wall him in. I just find this really weird. Yeah, we do have a pair of Keshiks being deployed down the field, as well as more archers. That's ×2 archer. Getting out some more horsemen as well. Does get arrow slit here. He does spot the outposts, or that outpost. I don't think he spotted this outpost yet. They're not firing because they're not in range. What does yellow see? He probably would see in that outpost, right? Because those walls are right there. Maybe a little bit of bug in the replay. Yep, now he's responding to it. These outposts can quickly go on down. Does lose some of the villagers there. Coming out to push it. Does get a outpost there surrounded by walls. Okay. These villagers are starting going down. Does go and destroy both of those outposts. Now it's going to make a way through. Let's get inside the town center. There's enough room for most of these villagers, or all those villagers. He may have lost one villager there. No, he did not lose a single villager there. Now he's trying to find some of these spirit villagers. Does not take out that villager there. These cyan villagers backing on off. Over here, got this outpost now garrison. Sending some arrows there on the horsemen. I don't know if you've seen these yet. This game's gone a little bit weird. Got a fresh con back here. This outpost is very well secure, and this will provide him some good castle network for quite a bit of distance. Time center falling back. There's a good number of longbowmen here. 35 longbowmen, 7 man-at-arms, and 3 spearmen. He may want to go for probably more man-at-arms. There's a lot of archers here, so spearmen won't be that great. Going for more man-at-arms to help him keep his longbows safe. Finds a smaller force in the field. Got hack damage being researched by Mongols as well. And it looks like the Keshik will take time and bop some of the sheep to get some health. Going for another outpost here. He's going to before these outposts. Does spot these outposts now. He will lose a longbow. This man-arms will take quite a bit to take him out. Of course, the primary arrows of these outposts do 11 damage, which is much greater than the garrison bolt arrows. Got these villagers pushing forward, trying to torch down these outposts. Some of Yellow's villagers are going down. Cyan does have 45 villagers. Yellow has 49. These outposts go down. Cyan does have a good amount of wood stored up. He may be eyeing for a second town center. Blowing it right around here would be good to help clear up these deer, as well as perhaps a bit of wood. Yes, good number of Keshiks here. Going for more Keshiks currently wouldn't be half bad. This one's minimizing the spearman presence. We got an outpost here, which will provide the Yam network for these villagers. Got yellow eyeing for an outpost here as well. He has a good number of pastures already put on the field. We really stand to get out some more of the deer collected, probably. Stable now seems to fire that does pack it up, trying to back it on off. Does not back and push way forward. Got the counter now garrison. Some of these villagers are going down. Didn't get near let's reach there. 2 of the Cyan's villagers do go down. Horsemen and Keshiks push way forward with all these Cyan archers. Keshiks, however, getting quickly focused down there. Just simply didn't have enough front line. His other Keshiks are now eyeing a bit more aggressive. There's a small defense force there. Let's spot this outpost there. We'll get a bit of raid from it. And these forces will fall back now. The Mongols have consumed all their resources. The English still has plenty of resources. Yep, even though Mongol only has 4 less villagers, you can see here the big economic differences. He doesn't have any economic resource either. But right now, if we switch over here, we got 27 on the sheep, 28 on the sheep, while there's only 13 on the farms. shows a really big difference between the food income. They have the same food, almost same food income. In fact, the English has a little bit better, has one economic tech, but the farm passive there is really paying out big time. Keshiks do find a massive flank there. Yellow's army is starting to get disintegrated. Yellow's archer's doing some great damage there. The Mongol Khan doesn't have his arrow available. Yellow's front line has disintegrated. Now the longbowmen are falling back after advancing forward. Some of these Keshiks are going down. More of these longbows push way forward. Keshiks are now engaging on these longbows. We'll be able to deal with these longbows. Their swipe per health will give them a lot of longevity versus longbowmen, and now longbowmen just trying to run away. And right now his force is entirely composed of longbowmen and 2 spearmen. 1 spearman is located right there. Does use a speed arrow there to help close the distance there. It appears it doesn't have a whistling arrow research, nor the improved whistling arrow research. Some palings being pulled out there, very nice. He does actually avoid the palings. Nope, one of them does hit the paling there and dies to it. The other one does find it as well. Got some palings here as well. Great usage of the palings. And right now the military force is quite even. Even though Keshik has a higher quality, the longbows still pose a massive threat to them. He does have the Ovo here. No research from it whatsoever. He can go for the whistling arrows. He's been spending all his stone. Actually, no, he does have his stone to work with. He can get the whistling arrow improved. We got more Keshiks being employed on the field. That's a ×2 Keshik. 2 ×2 Keshiks being employed on the field.
We're Sinden for Sekande!
Sorry about that, my drink made a little crack there. Little longbow fire coming on forward. And right now he does need to retask the gear to get forward, though that would posit is pretty wounded, or low, not wounded. Now trying to break through here, and it's actually a great opportunity for the Keshik to get a lot of raid. He can destroy a lot of farms to get a lot of raid. He doesn't have the improved raid bounty, which is actually a bit of a problem. Let's find a spearman there. We're going to try and torch down this outpost. Does get a bit of raid there. Try and get the villagers on the inside. Farms don't have a lot of health. They have 300 health. They can be quickly destroyed, but this one has a long bow wounds here. Is able to whittle down those Keshiks quite nicely. Yellow has killed 5 villagers. Cyan's only killed 4. But Cyan's still behind on villager count, probably due to spending resources on other than villagers. Khan does go down there. Longbowmen are getting some chasing after the Keshiks. The farm's now being retasked. Will provide some great food income. Keshiks push their way forward. We got the longbowmen. There's 2 spearmen in this mix. There are 60 longbowmen on the field. They can put some big holes in these Keshiks. Keshiks do not have a lot of health, and so they can quickly be focused down like this. That Keshik will escape on out there. He has a good force of archers push way forward. Need more archers on the field. All I could stand is get more horsemen. The bonus damage there will be a bit more cost effective. Next now charge on forward. They do get a good charge attack there. There's only a couple spearmen for yellow as well. Has he gotten the whistling arrow research? No, he's not got the whistling arrow. It's a very important technology, though I suppose he doesn't have the Khan out in the field at the moment. Let's find some more of these outposts here, which will give him a bit of raid. That castle or outpost does go down, denying the castle network for the time being. I wonder if he needs to go for hack damage. Against his longbowmen, they have 70 health. The catcher still have 16 damage. Yep, I don't think the +1 damage will help enough kill him out quicker. Pretty quick math. One of the Cyan archers do go down. Catcher's push away forward. Does see a bit of fire there. Right now, the yellow longbone just doing a good job of kiting around. We knocked down network castles there, providing a good damage buff for these longbowmen. Yellow's front line, but a little of it is quickly going down, but managed to get some great damage with the longbowmen. Right now, Cyan just having trouble closing in on these longbowmen. Trying to go for more Keshiks. He is spending a lot of his gold there. He could spend his wood and get some horsemen. And right now, he's actually pretty low in wood as well. He needs to get out another gear out somewhere. He's trying. There's some shrubbery being utilized, not a whole lot. Some of these villagers collect the sheep does go down there. The sheep have been tasked on the wrong side of the town center. That's a little bit too open to be attacked like it is. There's just a speed arrow there trying to close the distance. Ketch's trying to close it. Does get a good charge attack there. Will manage to break on through. So the man arm's going down. This outpost is not being has been interrupted. And Keshiks are still going down to those spearmen as well as the longbow fire. It simply does not have enough Keshiks to break on through. And the man-at-arms are stalling out these Keshiks quite severely. Longbowmen do move a little bit slow. They move the same speed as man-at-arms and crossbows, while regular archers do move a little bit faster, but he's still having trouble engaging. Cyan's going to fall back now. We're seeing quite a bit of damage. And overall, the longbowmen there's just far too many of them for him to deal with. Yep. 26 versus, looks like 39 was that. But of course, started to tell with this since they weren't retasked entirely time. Does lose another archer there. Another outpost going up. The English player must be running. No, he has plenty of wood here. And can make use of that wood deposit and this wood deposit here. And make use of this one here. These villagers are going to be hit relatively soon. This outpost is quickly going down to these longbows. This outpost was not completed. It's going back to this one here. Cyan just needs more stables. He's actually having trouble with food and wood. He's being retasked over here to this wood deposit, not going to these ones here. Could perhaps be a bit desperate, gamble a little bit, try to go for the gear deposit and the wood over there. But right now he's hitting a bit of a rock. He's actually out of gold as well. He's trying to pull out some horsemen. He needs more stables, whereas right now he just simply doesn't have the production. Now got the King's Palace being put on the field. And now the outpost blow down the field. King's Palace is on the way. Right there. This will give Cyan or Yellow another town center to work with. So I'm hitting this berry line as well. He has currently 5, 6, 7 pastures that can support about 21 villagers. And Cyan does back of the game with seeing the age up there. This is Anagram saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay. So as I mentioned beforehand, that will be my last replay for tonight. So everyone, thank you for watching, have a good evening, and get some good rest.